Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Bronze Reaper podcast. I'm your host, Rosalind Perkins. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, but something happened. It reset, and that's my fault. So I fixed it now. So again, I apologize. Um, and we can start over definitely. Today we're gonna talk about is Pan Africans the reason why there's a diaspora war. The reason why this is very important is because is it the Africans are blaming the blacks, or the blacks blaming the Caribbeans, or the Caribbeans blaming the Africans, or the Africans blaming Caribbeans, or the Caribbeans blaming blacks? Stories like this is very important because at the end of the day, we got to know you need to know the name of your enemy, you know. And I always tell people all the time that's very important. So definitely stay tuned, and like I said, it's very important to know who your enemy is, who you talking about, what's going on. How did all of this stuff start? So when you go back, you know what you're fighting for. You're not fighting for no old, tall tales or some bullshit. Personally, I don't think any black American I don't think any Africans or Caribbeans know why they even fighting black Americans. I'm gonna be personally honest. I think it's a make believe argument that they're having with us. All jokes aside, I think it's a make believe argument. And I'll say this: shout out to the people who do want to have these conversations, from the Caribbean side to the African sides to the white supremacy side to the black side. You know, anybody who wants to have this conversation, so shout out to you, because you know what, you're trying to have this conversation. um I'm gonna make this show very short because I'm cut for time right now. I think I'm gonna do 2.5 hours. um and I'll explain why I'm doing 2.5 hours. I'm cutting back on the hours, so those hours that when I be doing like 4.5, 5 hour shows, I think I'm gonna cut it down to 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours. I want to pick, and the reason why, because I want to work on I want to work on the research that we do. So if we're gonna do research, we're not gonna do like 6 or 7 videos. We're gonna do like 3 to 4 videos, 2 to 3 videos, if anything. Most likely three. The reason why three, because I want to break the videos down without trying to rush. So once I do that, I think it'll be great. Hold on one second, everybody.
Call from
Dorsey.
I want to work 3 to 4 videos. What's going on, Dorsey? If anything.
Okay, is everything cool now?
Yeah, give me a second. Let me see if
All right.
they can hear you on your side. Let's see. Go back. Yeah, and I'm getting a new desk too. I want to shorten. I want to make my desk a little bit smaller because with extra space, you just start putting stuff everywhere. So I think I'm gonna get like the little oval joint. It's gonna be fly. You when I show y'all it, I'm gonna take a picture of it and I'm gonna put it in the post too. So that's after I build it, So
Most definitely.
it's gonna be fly though. Like that's why I said this is what I do with y'all donations and stuff. I just make the stuff better and stuff like that. Always,
Investment.
yeah, it's always an investment. And like I always put my money in it too. So it's like I always tell people, it's not like, oh yeah, this is what I do with y'all invest. No, I put my own money into it too. I usually use my money more than I use anything else. But oh, hold on, let me see if I can hear you. Like that's why I said this is what I do with y'all's donations and stuff. I just make the stuff better and stuff like that. Yeah, I can hear you. Like I always put my Yeah, they can hear you.
Okay.
So the question I want to ask you is: did the Pan African movement or Pan African movement infiltrate blacks and Africans, or betrayed blacks and Africans?
Uh, a little bit of both.
Hmm. Explain.
because they betrayed not only us, they betrayed their countrymen also.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so what happened is when they started getting with us, as far as the cultural exchange,
Yeah.
they went back and told their people that this was the land of milk and honey, right?
Yeah.
So what they would do, they would get these people to invest, letting these people know, like, hey, I can get you into America. Trust me. And them people would get their hard earned money and give them, and then them niggas would disappear and go to America.
Mm.
That's how most of these Africans get over here. They done defrauded their own people.
Mm.
So when they come with a pocket full of change,
Mm.
they fucked over their home. That's why they can't go back. That's why they don't want to go back. Just like them Jamaicans, right? They know something waiting on their ass when they touch the ground. Just like them Somalis, right?
Yeah.
They know that motherfuckers is waiting on them when they get back.
Yeah.
Because some of them was straight up with their people, but a lot of them defrauded them people out their money.
Mm. Do you think that's why? Do you think that's a cultural thing, or do you think they just do stuff like that?
That's a cultural thing because you got to understand Nigeria ain't just one nation. You understand? One solid. It's tribals. There's like what 30 different tribes.
More than that.
Okay, well
Oh yeah,
I'm
there's
just
more
being
than that.
you know
Oh yeah, there's more
I'm
than
just
that.
dealing with Nigeria. I'm not thinking of other. I'm just thinking about
Nigeria,
Nigeria,
they
right?
probably got more tribes than that. We don't know because Nigeria, they're scammers. So it's we don't know what they are
But they
doing.
had to practice on somebody
Yeah.
before the game came to us, right?
Yep.
So what they did was they used the imagery and sold their people a dream.
Mm. That's yeah. 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 That's true. Mm. Yeah, Puerto Ricans love Jettas too. I know this Puerto Rican cat. He loved like he wanted the brand new Jetta. He had an old school Jetta, but he loved the Jettas. You know, I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. The Puerto Ricans, because yeah, American territory. Yep. What's going on, convo? Going. Mm, okay, okay, okay. Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. So, do you think the Pan Africans, because you was talking about cultural, because I said cultural. Do you think the Pan Africans help the Latinos as well and looks at them as brothers and sisters, or is that just a Dr. Umar thing? Oh, okay, okay. So, yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Where? Um, picking, doing agriculture, like picking fruits and shit, and oh, okay. Oh, hold on one second. Shalom, OC. Shalom. Yeah. Mm, mm. Let me ask you a question. Who helped them get those jobs? Did they get that jobs through black people, or did they, or was it an American thing? Because it's kind of going off top. Because it's kind of going off the topic that we're talking about. Give me a second. So okay, with the Puerto for Latinos, exactly, because we know there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in Chicago. I know that for a fact because my ex girlfriend's father was in New York. I mean, in California. So that's how I know. I know that's true. You know, plus they got their own gangs. It might be a disciple, but it might be a Latino disciple or some shit like that. You know, yeah. Hold on one second. Hold on. I think they can't hear you. Give me a second. All right, there you go. Go on.
Okay, the Latin Kings was basically Puerto Ricanos, and they was trying to like emulate what the Crips and the Bloods was doing as far as protecting the neighborhoods, right?
Yeah,
Not getting victimized, right?
yeah.
Then came the Mexicans, and rather than going along with the Puerto Ricans, they formed their own shit called Mexican Pride (MP).
Mm.
So then they started going up against the Puerto Ricans trying to get that dope money. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So then they started squabbling.
Mm.
And then it got so bad that the Latin Kings came came down here to California and started setting up shop.
Y'all had Latin Kings in California?
Hell yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't think we have Latin Kings in Boston like that. Like I told you, Boston is very different. You can't have like those type of games in Boston, especially
Check
not
this
no
out.
not especially not no racial games because, like, yeah, Boston is very diverse, but like them niggas will get packed out. You know, like
Well,
like
see,
like I'm gonna be, and this is why I always tell people this. I always tell people like when it comes to black people, everybody can be in a black game, but when it comes to other people's racial gangs, no, absolutely not. No, you don't, like, it's very very rare that you'll see a black person in Latin. Hold
oh
on.
no, no, check this out. When the Armenians came into the country that migrated after the Armenian earthquake in the 80s,
Yeah,
that's when the Russian mafia started coming into the picture
yeah.
through the Armenians.
Yeah,
So
Latin
when the
Kings are in. Yeah,
Armenians,
they're in New York. Like I'm not. Hold on one second. I'm not saying that they're not in Massachusetts. I'm just saying that it's rare in Boston that you'll catch a Latin King. Like you probably will catch
right,
it in Chelsea, Massachusetts, Lowell, or some of these other places because there are Latino predominant cities in Boston. It's just you won't catch it like, for example, in Lawrence and Lowell, you'll catch a lot of Bloods and Crips that are Asian, that are from like California, that were in California or who came from California and came to Massachusetts. Like I have this dude, he's from Vallejo. He's a Crip.
yeah, that's Central California.
Yeah, he's a Crip. So, and I was,
He's from North. He's from the part of California, like I said, that's North Años
hmm
and that's Sorenos. The
yeah,
North Años usually kicking with the brothers.
yeah,
What's going on, pimpin'? I had a brother over here looking at me and so forth. He started laughing. He said, "Damn, you telling the niggas out here?" I'm like, "Yeah, nigga, I'm telling these niggas what's up out here."
yeah. It's
So,
different. Yeah.
right. So, as you see, the FBA culture is imitated out here in California.
Mm.
So when you have Asian Bloods and Crips, where they get that shit from? Because they had the triads, right?
Yep.
Okay. So when they started coming on board, we like, cool, ain't no problem.
But it's different because you
Because
know why? Because most of those people who are in Asian gangs, I mean, who are Asians, Crips and Bloods are Cambodians and Laos. Those
right.
triads, they're they're a little bit different because hold on, the Puerto Ricans in Massachusetts are weird. Yeah, I would say that. But yeah, the ones in because my baby mother told you it's Cambodian. You know, I talked to her family and I talked to people who are
Mm-hmm.
Cambodian. And you go out there, that nigga. That's why I always tell like, what's that? Like, I'm brutally honest. What is that? I don't know what that is. I didn't know what a Crip was until I was like 15, 16. Because the
Yeah,
only thing,
community response and progress.
yeah, no, I didn't even know what that was until I was like 30. You know, it's just, and it's because I was
Okay,
reading, I
another
was reading, I was reading the Tukey Williams book. That's how
right.
I figured
Okay,
that
so
out.
another movie that you need to see is called Young Blood.
I seen that.
It's an old 1970s movie,
I
and
seen
it tells about how the gangs and stuff started here in Los Angeles.
Oh yeah. You know what my favorite
Okay,
movie was? The one with the Hawks and the Lords. I forgot what that movie was. The gangs was the Hawks and versus the Lords.
but they went California. That was New
Yeah,
York,
it was
right?
New York. That's my
Yeah, because
movie.
ain't no niggas gonna call themselves the Hawks, nigga. Come on,
Yeah.
that's kind of weenie ass name for a gang.
Yo, them niggas was lit out there, man. Them Hawks was lit. He's like, yo, you don't
Yeah,
want
but
no
see that
static
go
with me. Yo, the way how they were talking too was crazy. Like that old school way of talking. Yo, it's like, yo, they talk smooth, but it held a lot of weight to what he was saying. That's the
yo,
crazy
young
part.
bruh, I know you don't want to talk that smack to me, cause I'll blow you down, brother.
Yeah.
So get your see. That's from the Warriors. Remember that movie Warriors?
Yeah, I remember that.
That comes from that time period, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened is once the Latinos got a little numbers and they came into the city, you know, they ventured into the cities like New York, Chicago,
Yeah.
and so forth. Some of them jumped ship.
Yeah. The rebels. That's why I say, yo, some were rebels. That's why you always hear me
Right.
say this. There were
They
some that
they
were
jumped
rebels,
ship.
but collectively they didn't fuck with black people. Collectively, the
Right.
Latinos
But
didn't
their
fuck with black people.
women did.
Yeah, of course, because we were cool.
You see where I'm coming from?
We were cool
Because
people.
we weren't abusive. We ain't gonna put our sis. See, check this out. We won't put our sisters out there on that street.
Yeah,
That's what we won't do.
yeah.
We don't do that to family.
Oh yeah,
They will.
oh yeah. They don't give a
Not
fuck.
saying the Puerto Ricans, because the Puerto Ricans got a code also.
Yeah.
But the ones,
No,
the
there'll be some of them. There'll be some that'll sell you out for a box of cookies. Don't be
yeah.
surprised.
But see, my whole thing is
And
out
I hold
here
on, and
they up
I
there.
fuck with the Puerto Ricans, but there'll be some that will sell you out for a box of cookies. So.
Yeah, but out here they always talking about la raza, la raza, la
Oh yeah,
raza.
that's is that Mexicans or Puerto Ricans?
Mexicans.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we have Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and those type of
Yeah,
people in
but
Boston.
see, most Puerto Ricans identify with their ancestors, Taínos, right?
Oh yeah,
So they gonna say that shit first. They ain't gonna say no La Raza. Fuck
yeah,
that. They gonna say Boricua,
yep,
right?
yep.
Okay. So when they was going ahead and saying La Raza, that means that they wanted unity of the Mexicans, but they didn't understand Western Mexico ain't like Central Mexico.
Yeah,
Central Mexico ain't like Chiapas or Brownsville because see, they just like us. They got states in
yeah,
Mexico. And so they flying their colors each other. You know, the cartels, they flying their colors just like everybody else.
yeah,
The Sinaloa cartel, the Araguila cartels, and all that. So what happened is once the cartels started getting a little power, they start moving that weight across the off the U.S. border, and that's in the '80s, and they start coming up, and
Yeah.
they start, and finally, what they did, they had to sacrifice a couple of them to set example for some of them who didn't want to get with the program. So after after uh, let's just say Jose. Hey Jose, you gonna get with the cartel? No man, I got my own thing. Well, we know where your grandma lives over in this village,
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't do what we say,
It's gonna be
old
problems.
grandma gonna get a visit, right?
Yeah, gonna be problems.
So next thing you know, your whole family got slaughtered.
Mm.
See, they don't stop with just one. They kill the kids and everybody
Yeah.
else too.
Take the whole bloodline.
They wipe you out. And then now you crying because you regret that you opposed to what they said. So they brought order through terror.
Yeah.
Okay, so then when they realized that, oh man, we can't buck them, that's when they all start getting in line. But see, the Norteños were like, nah, we ain't fuck a cartel. You motherfuckers ain't got no juice here.
Yeah.
And then the Soleños thought that because they were going to come up there and spread their shit to Northern California. But they underestimated the Bulldogs.
Was that Fresno?
The that's Fresno. That's Bakersfield. See, the Bulldogs is some La Bamba motherfuckers. La 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 Bamba.
Yeah. I heard
And
about
so
them
they
and stuff
were,
like that. That's how I knew. I knew about Fresno. Yo, because there was this white boy.
so,
There was this white boy I seen on TV. He kidnapped
mm,
this little rich kid, and the parents didn't want to pay, so he killed the he killed the kid. So I'm not laughing, bro.
right,
He killed the kid. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll just do the fucking time." Big face tattoo and everything. Yeah, them niggas get busy out
right. So the Bulldogs is kind of like a buffer zone because
there.
that's Central California,
Yeah.
and they like, hey, you can't come through our territory with that bullshit because this our shit. And you got to understand, the Bulldogs, their parents and so forth was the oil workers. And Bakerfield used to be an oil production town.
Hold on. I gotta stay on topic now. I totally forgot. I gotta stay on topic. Um,
Okay.
so we're talking about this Pan African thing right now. We can't.
Well, anyway, so now let me get on the Africans' little stinky asses, right?
Mhm.
So I had a neighbor, right? And this was like in 1985.
Mhm.
Little voodoo woman, right?
Mhm.
Stunk like a motherfucker, boy.
Mhm.
Her whole house stank,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And her roaches tried to migrate into my crib, but I was fogging like once a month, right? Like, nah, you motherfuckers ain't coming over here.
No,
So one day,
I'm talking about Pan African. We're talking about infiltrations.
oh, you talking about? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
me. So like I said, because they scam their own relatives in Nigeria and all these other countries, right? African countries. When they came over here, they changed their whole. A lot of them changed their names too now.
No, I'm talking about Pan Africanism. Did the
Right?
Shalom? Did the Pan Africans do the Africans and the blacks dirty? This is
Yeah,
what
they did both dirty, bro.
so because don't forget the Pan Africanism came out of America. It didn't come out of Africa. It came
I
from
understand that, but Bantu, whatever his name was
Mhm.
in Africa, he changed it to a Muslim name to duck everybody.
Mm. Oh, you're talking about what the fuck is his name? Fucking Kwame says his name all the time. Stokely Carmichael. That's who you're talking about?
Mm. No, that was a whole plethora of the motherfuckers back in the '80s.
Okay. So so I didn't write.
So then that's when the scamming shit hit. Once the internet hit, then that's when people was getting them letters talking about I'm a prince from yada yada yada, wooty wooty whoop. If you can send me $10, I'll be able to regain my throne and all that shit. And
Yeah.
out of gratitude, I will send you a fortune. Yeah, that's when they started doing that.
Okay, okay. So they were scamming niggas and stuff.
Right.
Um. So how do you think they started the diaspora war?
The diaspora war
And
was
what? And the next, hold
because,
on. The next thing I'm gonna ask you too. I'll tell you what I'm gonna ask you next time. Minister Farah Muhammad, you're talking about?
yeah, that's one.
Oh yeah, Ray. Thanks, Ray. Ray, I appreciate that. Ray said that. Let me ask.
Thanks, Ray Ray.
I want to say this. Why do you think they started it first?
Because the well ran dry with us. We caught on to that
I'm talking
shit.
about in the beginning. Why did they start the Pan African movement?
Well, like I said, once they scammed their partners, the people at their home, then they started coming to the black community, and we was like, yeah, we ain't too keen on y'all,
Hmm.
right? And so then they had to go to the white man. They had to go to the white man to get their legitimacy.
Yeah. So they were funded by the CIA.
Right, the white man.
I had this show on that before, and I showed Shabaka that Shabaka and Kwame went crazy on me, and that's when I made the clip, and I'm like, yo, I'm not saying this. 19 Keys is saying this. 19 Keys is coming out with the information. This isn't my
What is
information.
that damn MJ? What's
So
that? MJ? Is it MJ or MA?
MA.
13. Not just, no, I'm talking about military intelligence. MI, what is it? MI for Britain. It's equivalent of their, it's a equivalent of their CIA.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, what is it? MI6 or what, something like that? Anyway, so what happened is when the Jamaicans started, with Bob Marley, Third World, Peter Tosh, all them, right?
Hmm.
They was talking about, Jamaican independence, right?
Yeah.
So one of the so one of the royalties, I don't know if her name was Queen Anne or Queen, she jumped ship and went to Jamaica and got turned out.
Mm.
So they went, slaughtered all them dudes who was in the little beef shack and brought her back home
Okay, okay. Keep on talking. I'll be
before she
right
got
back.
before she got impregnated. Because then that whoever was that she had the baby by, their kid would be in line for the royalty. They might be like 32 in line, but still that was a bloodline. Just like they killed Prince Fard because they didn't want nothing of color being introduced into the royal bloodline. Okay, so when they realized that they couldn't get nowhere with us, then that's when you start seeing the jerk huts. The jerk, see, the Jamaican food wasn't really popping until they got until they got caught. So then they had to try to legitimize themselves by opening up restaurants.
Hmm.
It's kind of like the laundry money, right?
Hmm.
So they had to show where they was getting the funding from, but secretly the CIA was the one. Also, because blacks was not aware that these motherfuckers was selling us out, we would go to the little jerk huts and all that, and we would tell our business, and they would ear hustle.
Can I say this? Let me tell you why I
What?
think they started Pan Africanism, and let me tell you why Pan Africanisms betrayed blacks and Africans. I think they wanted to be gatekeepers. I think Pan African the goal was for Pan Africans to be gatekeepers, but they failed because at the end of the day, they gave too many promises that they couldn't do. And I
Right.
think That's where people. That's why in 2026, this is why they're in that situation that they're in right now, where Pan Africanisms can't hold light to anybody. They can't even hold light to ADOS. And
Right.
ADOS is a that's an organization. ADOS is an organization. It's not a lineage it's not in lineage like foundational Black Americans. ADOS is a organization. What's her name? Will even tell you that. What's her name? Fucking the bitch with the fade. Light skin and chick.
Oh, the one with the glasses.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Her.
Yeah, the one who went hard
Yeah.
against your boy.
Who?
She on his ass right now.
Who? King
Um,
Flex.
no. We talking about Anton. She on Anton ass right
Oh,
now.
she is. Yeah, she needs to be. You know.
Yeah, if you look it up on YouTube, you'll see she on Anton ass right now.
Yeah. But I think yeah I think they're trying to, and that's why I think I said yo I think they're this is why I say I think they are they are a psyop organization or a psyop agents, you know. And that's just me. Hold on.
They
Yeah,
grifters.
yeah, they're grifters. Because at the end of the day, because don't forget when it first came out, they wanted to have this African spiritual thing and all this other stuff. The only people who asked questions were the older heads. But the younger heads, revolutionized people, they weren't asking questions because don't forget these old school niggas out here, they weren't into holding hands, we shall overcome. These niggas was revolting. These niggas was actually really fighting and beating niggas up. But when Pan Africanism came in, the Black Americans didn't really infiltrate as much anymore. Everything was about Africa, 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 Africa.
Right.
You know, and
So
go on.
when Disney, okay, remember how Disney made that money off of Black Panther?
Mm-hmm.
Disney showed to the whole FBA community the schism. You see the division between the Africans nation because some of them remember what Killmonger's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Killmonger's dad was like, "How come we not using this our technology
To
to
help
help
all.
free our oppressed brothers?"
Yes.
But his dad, T'Challa's dad, being the coon he was,
Yep.
even though he had that firepower, he was still scared of the white man.
Mm-hmm. He wanted to do business with the white man. You see how
Exactly.
like they were in fucking Capitol Hill trying to figure out shit with these other white people and stuff. And this is why I always say at the end of and the thing about it, you people gotta understand who wrote that shit. Who you think wrote that shit? Ryan. He's from California. Ryan
Mm-hmm.
Coogler, yes. The guy who wrote Sinners.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote that Black Panther, and he said, and the thing about it, it was so dead on where and this is where we talk about tribalism. Tribalism is never gonna die. Especially in tribalism is not gonna die in Africa. And the reason why it's never gonna die in Africa, because at the end of the day, they see their own skin as the enemy. It,
Okay.
it always has been a
So
self-hate thing. And the thing about it, I kind of blame Pan Africanism for faking that they're in Africa trying to fix the problems in Africa, and all it has done for the last 60 years has got worse. You know, so yeah.
right. So if you saw in there, Umbaku,
Hmm.
Umbaku them, right?
Yeah.
That tribe,
Yeah.
the gorilla niggas.
Hmm.
You saw how they said, "Hey, we don't appreciate shit that you motherfucking Black Panther niggas did."
Mm.
Because he wasn't talking about the American Black Panthers. He was talking about the royal families in Africa.
Mm.
He said y'all sold out to the white man, and then y'all treated us like shit. But now that now that you being threatened, now you
Hold
want to
on one
come to us
second.
for
Hold
aid.
on. You say he produced it? You say he produced it, SP? What's that say right there? The main writer for Marvel's Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever is Ryan Coogler. Coogler. I keep on saying this man's name wrong. He was a writer.
Uh-uh.
He's a writer. And hold on. Let me make this bigger so you can see. Hold up. What's that say? This is the thing with you,
Insight.
SP. SP,
Insight.
this is why I told you a few days ago. You exposed yourself for the racist person that you are. It sucks how you using that black woman so you can stay valid.
Oh, you listening to that? You listening to this trick?
I had
The only woman reason that woman is with you is for economics,
mm-hmm.
and that's why she lets you talk to her that way, because it's just like Anton. He make the money, so he get to talk down to her because she ain't got the common sense to go out there and get her own money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that is. See, he probably with a crackhead bitch. That's why he feel like he's so superior. But see, he didn't go get one of them sisters from Berkeley. He didn't get one of them sisters from UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get one of them sisters from New York City College. He didn't get none of them motherfuckers that got something going for himself. He went and scraped the barrel. Now, she might be fine, but she ain't got no mind.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
You see what I'm
That's
saying?
why I call that's why I call I call him he's the Candace Owens of Mexicans. It's like
Right. So my whole thing is with SP, check this out. You motherfuckers can't do nothing but kick a goddamn soccer ball. Y'all niggas don't run nothing.
they
You
can't even
name
do
me
that.
one motherfucker.
They're not Mexicans are not good in soccer like that.
Exactly.
They're not good in
So
soccer like that.
understand this, SP. You people aren't even in the Fortune 500. So how the fuck you gonna come up here and talk about how fucking you see where I'm coming from? Yeah, y'all got y'all little millionaires, and y'all might even have a billionaire or two.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, who the fuck runs Mexico? The white man.
Mm-hmm. They're about to take y'all country now. You don't see you
Exactly.
don't see
Because
this
the
man out
only
here.
reason,
This man and remember I warned him too. I was like, yo, because when they airstruck Nigeria, I said, yo, y'all Latinos better watch out because this nigga's about to do y'all niggas greasy. If you got beef with this nigga, yo, y'all niggas need to try to end that shit now.
check this out. You think you little motherfuckers think y'all run shit because y'all got that little dope money, that little cocaine money and shit?
Oh, that shit's drying out now. That shit's
Check this
that
out.
shit's drying out.
They cut y'all off, homie.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got cut off
Mm-hmm.
because y'all got too big for your britches. You
Mm-hmm.
start challenging the establishment here in America, El Norte.
That's
Agadanto el Norte. So when you start challenging the United States government, you know why they got in your ass? Because you wanted to try to go into the Gulf of Mexico and set up oil platforms.
mm-hmm.
And Donald Trump said, no, motherfucker, this is the Gulf of America.
Mm-hmm. Change the name and everything. And the thing about
Took
it,
your shit.
I'm gonna say this.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say this. That's only the first step. If this nigga if you let that nigga change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and y'all niggas didn't say nothing, he's gonna line step. He's gonna be a
Oh,
habitual line stepper with y'all
oh,
because y'all did that shit.
oh.
Y'all didn't say
Bronx, you
shit.
don't see the big picture? You don't see the big picture?
What's up?
The big picture is why you think he's sending them back.
Mm, 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 mm.
You know why?
Why?
Because once they get back to Mexico, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, we don't like this shit down here."
Mm-mm.
So then it's the cause of civil war. You
Mm-hmm.
already they on the verge. They actually got a civil war going on in Mexico with the cartels, right?
Mm.
So now they sending people who gonna be complaining and to the government, right? Now we talking about educated Mexicans. We ain't talking about motherfuckers who set up in the farmers. We talking about people who got expertise in business, banking. You see where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm. And the sad thing
Running
about it,
enterprises.
black Americans warned y'all. Black Americans warned y'all for years. Like, yo, be careful with white supremacy. We told
Let
y'all
me tell
that.
you. Let me tell you how this shit gonna go. Mexico, Guatemala, Salvador. Why you think they so happy with the Salvadorians?
Mm-hmm.
Why you think they in bed with the Salvadorians, bro?
Yep.
And I applaud the Salvadorians because guess what they doing? They sending all of them down there. They
Yep.
don't give a fuck if you Mexican. They don't give a fuck what you. You going to El Salvador, and what we gonna do is what America needs to do. We gonna beat your ass, put you in your drawers, and you gonna die in motherfucking jail.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
And that's what happened. See, in LA, we got the three strikes laws.
Yeah, that's why some of those people. That's why some of those people are in Boston right now, and in Massachusetts because of the three. They got it their second straight. So
Right. You gotta hey, you gotta jump ship, baby.
yeah.
You gotta jump ship.
Facts.
They ain't playing with you. They ain't playing with you, and I applaud that. Because you know what? You fake ass gangster niggas, y'all take y'all punk ass, you're running scared like every
Mhm.
motherfucking body else.
Yeah, that's just serious.
Okay? So when they face the reality that hey, the white man running shit, you know, we kept telling them, y'all don't
Mm.
run shit. This a white man's street.
Yeah.
The white man ran named that street. You motherfuckers didn't.
Okay. Okay. Now let's get back on the Pan Africans. I'm sorry. I keep on
Okay.
forgetting. I'm gonna give 10 more minutes too. Then I'm gonna start the show. I want to say this, Dorsey. When we already asked when, I mean why. When did you think? I mean,
1978.
no, 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 no. The question I'm
Oh,
gonna ask is, do you think Pan Africans can fix their mistakes,
no,
and why not?
it's inbred. The inbred fuck ups.
Hmm. Is it because they?
Meaning that their culture will never, because you, like you said, that tribalism shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't even get your house in order in your own country or your own continent, how the fuck you think you gonna come over here in America and take this shit from the white man?
Mm.
Now you gonna take that shit from the white
But
man,
don't forget, Pan
but you ain't gonna
Africans.
take a motherfucking thing
Don't
from the
forget,
white
Pan
man.
Africans are not trying to stay in America. They're trying to go to Africa.
Yeah, but they going back to take their disease back to Africa.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Lou? Was it Louis Niece? Salute, salute, salute.
Look how corrupt Nigeria is.
Yeah.
With all that oil, all them resources, all that shit, but they getting beat up by tribal niggas, by niggas on motorcycles. In fact, to be honest, how the fuck you getting your ass whooped by motorcycle gangs?
Mm.
And you supposedly got an Air Force, you got an Army, you even got a Navy, and you can't even defeat some motherfucking rebels.
Um, I would say this. And this is just a defense for them. Yeah, their government is corrupt. It's just I feel like if your government's gonna be corrupt, you need a backup plan. They didn't have a backup plan. They didn't have a backup plan at all.
Okay,
So at the
so
end of the day, this is the thing, and this is where we talk about when they start talking about education and all this and that. It doesn't matter how much education you have. If you can't do the job, then why do they need you?
Yeah, but see, you got to understand they have limited education. They
Yeah.
don't have an education. They have
Mhm.
limited education.
Okay. I see
You see
that.
what I'm saying? When it gets, see, name me one thing that they didn't invented.
Bushmeat.
Yeah, nah, bushmeat don't count. We got bologna. We got bologna, so same diff.
um, Jesus. I don't think I don't know what Africa. Well, like they found stuff. They created um I don't want to say they created it, but they were a component of building. There was one of these Africans. I was watching it on a documentary, and I think it's actually Shabaka's people, the Beninese people. They helped build the Great Wall of
Well,
China.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
were
but
the
fuck
component.
that, nigga. No, 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 no. See, you giving them too much credit.
No, I said they were a component of it. I didn't say they built it. I said they were a
Right, right.
component
No, 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 no. We talking about
by themselves.
recent history because
Nothing.
we talking about recent history within the last since their motherfucking independence.
Nothing. I heard a few inventions and stuff like some guy named Mbutu. They killed him though. He he built it and he peed in it or something like that. Yeah, and he like it was an invention. So he's an invention. Yeah, yeah, I guess yeah. So yeah, yeah. So they didn't create anything then. Yeah, nigga, we thought that shit was gonna be like fucking what is it? Black Panther. I thought it was gonna be like that Wakanda or some shit where fucking infrastructure. I thought it was gonna be like that. Yeah, no, no, I never seen Star Trek. Let me know. No, I never seen it. Only I know this one guy named T.J. Hooker, and the reason why because I was watching the was it Not at the Roxbury's. That's how I found out who T.J. Hooker was. I guess I just heard of T.J. Hooker, and plus my cousin Gerald from Alabama. He loves Star Trek. I never seen Star Trek or Star Wars. I never seen it. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you a question now. Since you said that, why are Pan Africans giving too much credit towards Africa? Do you s- do? I'll tell you why I think they're doing it, but you go first. Mm. Can I say? Mm-hmm. Shut up. Yeah. It was a shady deal. I've been telling people that I was like, yo, that's a shady deal. I was like, I said, China is known for doing shady deals. They'll tell you, oh yeah, they'll get this, but they'll infiltrate your business of not getting it, so they can take the whole business. Mhm, 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 mhm. That's why remember like 15, 20 years ago, and I'm gonna explain my answer. Um I'm gonna say this. You remember a few years ago when China was about to turn South Africa's language, the main language, into Mandarin, and there was an outrage in South Africa. That was like at least almost 20 years ago. Almost. Was it 25 years? 25 years. Yeah, it was an outrage of that, and that's where, yeah, and that's the thing that we're talking about right now. Hold on, I show see broke all them stereotypes. No, he did it because the nigga got jumped in Nigeria and almost got scammed dozens of times. There were That's what Shabaka said. That's why the guy who was trying to do a stream with I Show Speed from Nigeria, he was trying to scam I Show Speed, saying give him $10,000 to do a show with him. And the nigga's not even famous like that. He's gonna hmm I'm gonna even oh I'm gonna give you my answer. What's up? They'll call him a nigga. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Morocco, Tanzania. There's a few. What is it? What's the other one? And it's those Arab African countries. Certain parts of Sudan. So it's this isn't nothing new. They've been doing that shit for years. That's why when they come over here to America, they always identify themselves as white. So, and I know that because I used to deal with a girl like that. And you know what? And I'm gonna say this too, Ping Fu, you're not gonna like this, but the reason why the Pan Africans in China is going over to Africa because it's a come up resourceful wise. That's why when only thing Africans are doing, and I think it was very fucking stupid, is they changed one white man for another white man. You know, they said we're not fucking with Europe, we're not fucking with Europe, but we're gonna fuck with Russia, China, and these other countries. And you know what China did? They gave them a shady contract. So best believe, Ping Fu, those were your peoples that did that. Go on. Yeah, yeah, 1 minute, 1 minute. I'll give you that last minute. That's your last minute right here. Mm, mm, mm. There you go. All right, all set. Dorsey. Dorsey. I, yeah, yeah. I got to start the show, Dorsey. Thank. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. All right, there you go. But yeah,
And Charlie, I got something I want to say to you. Hey, sister, when that fool say coming up to you, call the police and say that nigga is stalking you. Cyberbullying.
mm,
Get that nigga arrested.
oh, I
Yeah,
don't
Ping,
think.
keep on. Keep.
Hold
Yeah, you
on.
can do that shit because every time she get on, Ping got some little sideways shit to say to her. Hey, Charlie, I was thinking about you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nigga, that's stalking. And I would be so happy to have them Royal Canadian Mounties to be knocking on your door, getting ready to ship your ass up out of there too. Because you don't deserve to even be on the North American continent. You fucking barbarian.
All right, Dorsey. Thank you, Dorsey.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Hey, I've been waiting to tell.
All right, Dorsey. Have a good one. All right. Salute. Thank you. I appreciate everything. Salute.
Ha ha. And I'm surprised the little potato slave didn't get on the thing. See,
Mm,
I had a whole bunch of shit ready for them.
mm.
But anyway, hey, one more thing and then I'm gonna let you go.
All right, go on.
In Sinners, who did the potato slave come to?
Came to the black man.
Thank you.
So yeah, it came to the
Cause
black man.
yeah, because the beef eaters had nothing to offer him because they have no soul.
Yeah.
He wanted to what? He wanted to free the souls of his ancestors.
Mm.
And he came to us because through our music, we were able to get through that vibrational realm to reach onto the other side.
The Greeks.
See, that old Elizabeth shit, that
The,
little Elizabethan, all that chamber music, that shit has no flavor whatsoever. But you let a brother get on a banjo, guitar, or even bam them piano keys, and the motherfuckers, that's a message to the other side. That's why they imitate our singing habits. Anyway, I'm through. I land my plane. Thank you, brother.
Ain't no problem. Thank you, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All
My
right.
pleasure.
All right.
And one more thing. Fuck you, Ping.
Easy. Everybody, that's Dorsey. Shout out to Dorsey. Um, get down later. All right. We're gonna start the show. We're gonna start with. Sorry, let me put this on pause. Uh, we're gonna start with Adonis Boom. We're gonna basically do some research, and I actually like this one. This is what made me actually wanted to do this topic question. Give me a second. Let me see if I can make it larger and put mine's hide that. Put mine's in the middle. Right there. All right. Oh, you know what? I could do this. Let's do that. All right, there we go. We're gonna start this.
I hope you post this to your YouTube, bitch. Cause Tariq Nasheed will never fuck you. You're the problem, bitch. Huh?
don't
He
know
a
them.
Well, what
anti-black. He's
happened?
anti-black. He's anti-motherfucking Everything.
Now, this video is going to be very triggering for a lot of different people based off the way people articulate themselves and the way people talk. So I'm letting you know right now, throughout watching this video, you're going to be getting triggered a lot. So just strap in. And my objective is not to cause division my objective is not to make people angry and frustrated with each other, with other people, and a whole group of people. Don't take one person's perspective or one person's ways of representing themselves for you to sit down and generalize a whole group of people. Furthermore, my idea right now, based off what I've been seeing on social media, is it's not really African versus Black American. It's the Pan-Africans who are actually starting this diaspora war between the Black Americans and the Africans. And I'm going to explain to you why. It's specific people, but if you like this video, before I said this right now, you already know you're a true legend. If you haven't liked the video, man, come on, bro, like, come on, man. Like, you know what it is? Like, tap that like button. Show your love, not your anger. These are very sensitive topics. And I'm treading like, I've seen Tariq Nasheed and these people are saying a whole bunch of stuff about Tariq Nasheed. I'm from New York, too. I was born in Brooklyn, raised in the Bronx, but I'm, like, international now.
Looks to me you're of African descent, but what do you identify as? African descent, indigenous to America? What are you?
I'm an FBA. 100%. But I'm
He's
indigenous.
a rhinestone cowboy.
I can't hear him.
But I got a question. I got a question for the room, actually. Why? My thing is this. I love. First of all, I love that you guys were sitting there and you was able to have conversations. You know, y'all was really able to talk about things that even when y'all didn't agree, y'all was like, nah, this is not okay. So I like the way you guys intellectually handle things, and I think that's the reason I jumped up here. I jump into these rooms like yesterday. I jumped into a couple of rooms and people couldn't just have a conversation. And I really wanted to understand, why do people marginalize all FBAs because of one specific person of how they handle a situation when there's a whole bunch of other group of people who handle it completely different?
I can answer that
because your leader's a representation of you, bro. It starts from the head down. So if your leader's a piece of shit, everybody in that bunch is a piece of shit. Whether they
see, this is where I think Pan-Africans are trying to infiltrate and push a narrative that's not there, and that's a leader. Because you hate somebody, you can't demonize a whole. And this is why I say a lot of y'all Pan-Africans, immigrants. Well, I wouldn't say immigrants, but tethers. You demonize Black Americans. Black Americans are used to getting demonized by people like y'all. So this is, like I said, it's nothing new, but at the end of the day, we're stopping it here. Such as SP, Shabaka, Kwame, Black Snow Bunny King, sometimes Double Edge Logic. And I think Double Edge Logic is a Black American. So let me, if I'm wrong, my fault. And a few other people, this is the type of stuff that we are talking about. Let's keep on going.
are or not. That doesn't mean that every single person is like him. But you following a piece of shit, it gives the you ever heard the apple don't fall from the tree? Fall. That's what that is a prime example of.
Man, hold on.
So
hold on. Add on to what you're saying too, because it's not just your leader.
If I know a person is a diabolical person, for instance, if I know a person who is trying to lead me, and I do my research and history on them, and I find out this person is a type of person that like playing around with kids or being around kids, I'm not going to follow that person because that's not what I align myself with. If I find out that a person is a rat, I'm not going to align myself with that person because that's not what I. So
y'all niggas, that nigga's from New York. Yes, you would. And the reason why I'm saying that, not to be disrespectful, is just y'all care about money more than anything in New York. So, and like I said, if that's your code, that's your code of the streets. A lot of people wouldn't fuck with, like in Boston. Me, I push away. I lost a lot of friends for people snitching and stuff like that. I'm gonna be personally honest, but there's a lot of people in New York that do defend rats. We seen a whole project, defend Takashi 69 on what's his name show. Takashi. We can name a few: Takashi, Frank Lucas, Sammy the Bull, Elpo. Uh, the list goes on, man. And Dead Prez, Dead Prez was an informant. He was an informant for 25 years. So Ray Ray, it was a lot, man. I'm glad Elpo got popped, but I'm just saying, this man, after he left, he was willy nilly in the streets and niggas was having parties about him. I'm glad y'all handle y'all business. Don't get me wrong. There are some people that are solid and be like, oh, yo, nah, I don't do that rat shit. Since the election of Donald Trump, FBA, man, have been greeting each other with nothing but love and respect. Yeah. You're right. But all those people I named was mostly immigrants. The only person who wasn't an immigrant was Frank Lucas. Frank Lucas was a Geechee. He was Geechee, so like I said, it comes with the territory, and how they handle these people. Sometimes things is gonna be hard to deal with. Saying, some things is, like I said, some things is gonna be hard to. There's gonna be some situations that is gonna be hard to swallow because they're just bad situations. They put you in a bad predicament. Put Dorsey back on. He's a great representation of a FBA cock. Is he supposed to say cuckold or I don't know, man. That's that Canadian lingo, man. I'm gonna say this: Canadian people have dope women, but y'all lingo suck, man. Y'all have like the most weirdest lingo. Y'all have like the watered down fucking British language. I'm just being personal. Y'all lingo is like watered down. So it's. I would never want to be. I would never want a Canadian lingo. It's just be honest.
Associate myself with. If I find out a person, not
But
that I
you
don't like
clearly hate this
FBA, but
dude.
if
You
I find
So
out
clearly
a
hate
wait,
this
wait,
person
hold
dude.
on.
So
So
is
let
let's
me
stop
answer
FBA,
this
this.
because
then
I
I
don't
don't
hate,
care.
bro. So Adonis, let me answer your
Hold
question.
on, hold on. Can we get some order? Deuce, you
Yeah,
done? And then after
Yes, I'm done.
Uniberg, I think Papa was gonna answer, and then Wounds.
cool. So Adonis, to answer your question, bro, if we're 100 deep, bro, and 85% of us is on demon time, guess what? Y'all some demons, bro. You don't get to be the little 15 other people being like, no.
And this is another disingenuous that thing that Pan Africans do, and I personally hate it. I hate it to a core because at the end of the day, Pan Africans are not sincere when they do things. Rosalind used to be in New Kids on the Block. I know Donnie. And who else do I know? Like I met Donnie. I met him at his little burger place. He's all right. He's cool and stuff. That's Mark Wahlberg's brother. Or you could say Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Well, either or. I'm more close to Mike from New Edition. That's just me. I'm more close with Mike Bivens. Out of everybody, I don't fuck with Mike Bivens like that, but out of all the New Editions, I fuck with Mike Bivens because he grew up with my mother. Other than that, nah. Like I could show you a picture with Michael Bivens playing basketball with my mother at the Boys and Girls Club and shit. It's I I don't really like I tell people all the time. I'm very antisocial. I don't like to talk to that many people. That's why I do podcasts, and if I do want to talk, I'll talk to y'all. But yeah, I'm not close to New Kids on the Block. They have, and I'm gonna say this, they have done shows at black schools to get famous. They wasn't doing it at white high schools and and middle schools. They were doing it at black high schools and black middle schools. So yeah.
Bro, we're not like that, bro. The large majority of y'all all come up and be on the same BS every single time. I'm sorry because you and Wounds aren't like that. That y'all can be like, no, bro, we're not like that. Guess what, bro? Y'all rolling with that team, so guess what? Y'all guilty too. Y'all catching this Rico case.
Hold on, Adonis. Hold on, because
Yeah.
Papa wanted to answer you too, and then Wounds too.
No, let him go ahead. Let him kick back. I want to hear what he's going to respond. I want to hear
Okay.
his response. There was two people. Go ahead. Go ahead, Adonis.
I appreciate it. No, I understand that. I just want to clear up two different things. One, Tariq Nasheed is not the leader of FBA. It's just like, you're basically FBA is just basically saying that your lineage and your bloodline has been in America before even America was created. It's specific just to differentiate the people who came in the 1800s and the people who've been here previous to that. So that's all it means. The only reason why a lot of people say that Tariq is
Yo,
like the leader is because he has the biggest platform because he speaks in this way that is entertaining and is catching a lot of triggering people. So I don't see just to
He
clear and I'm
owns
gonna let you.
trademark, and he owns the trademark. Don't forget that part too.
All right, you could say that, but all right, cool. But I'll say this, like I don't see a lot of FBA people talking crazy. I just see a lot of people take clips. Hold on. I see a lot of people take clips of what Tariq Nasheed says, and then maybe two or three other people, and then run with it and then spread it everywhere. Like right now,
that's true. Tariq Nasheed has never said he hated Africans. He never has said he hated the black diaspora. He never said he hated Latinos. This, for God's sakes, the nigga employed he employed Caribbeans and Africans and Latinos. What are you talking about? So it just doesn't make sense. It's just you're just putting your hand in a bag and hoping you get the golden coin. That's all you're doing. You're hoping that like what you're saying will stick. That's what I mean when I say that. So you're just saying anything. Like everything you're coming out is like, yo, it's spreading like bird shit. It's just we don't understand what y'all talking about when y'all say the leader, Tariq Nasheed, pushes anti-black. If he's pushing the black narrative to the black Americans, so it's just it's odd.
this is like the third live stream I've seen of people saying Tariq Nasheed in Africa. And I'm like, bro, why y'all focusing on this one person? Because there's 69 people in here and they all watching this one person. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, talk about other people. Like, talk about people who's leaning towards the agendas that you actually want. People that you can really align with and say, nah, that shouldn't be the people that we should focus on. That makes sense?
It
Who
does.
owns
I
the
That,
mean,
that
but
does.
that's what
who
happened when
owns
your
the
team captain
trademark?
wilding.
Wait a second. That
Who
does
owns the
make sense.
trademark?
Yeah, that does.
See, that's another thing. They still didn't listen. They still didn't listen to the whole situation. Go on, everybody. I'll be right back.
That would make sense if the attention wasn't garnered. Right now, understand him not being the leader and there not being a leader also shows that you don't have a proper infrastructure for protection. So that means that because there's no leader and everybody's just a lineage, that means anybody who has nefarious and implemented wills can come in and then play and placate the FBA, right? Because that's what happens. If you don't have a leader, then you don't have no structure. Because a movement and a lineage still has leadership. And that's the thing. And so yes, right
You
now
can't.
he is not your leader, but he's definitely your daddy. For sure. For sure. Tell me somebody other.
Hold on. All right. So you see this conversation. We're having a civilized conversation at this moment in time. We're all sitting down. We're discussing
Hold
particular
on, let me go
things. Some of
back.
the words are a little bit outrageous, and I understand even now some of you guys are triggered by watching.
For protection. So that means that because there's no leader and everybody's just a lineage, that means anybody who has nefarious and implemented wills can come in and then play and placate the FBA, right? Because that's what happens. If you
So, and this is another situation where Pan Africans they just make up anything where they say, "Oh, he's a leader. He's the only one being heard." No, there's a lot of people being heard. I'm being heard. Elite's being heard. What's his name? Don B. Phil Scott. Vicky. Who else? Wani. There's a lot of people, especially on TikTok. There's like 12, 13 people on TikTok who's doing spaces. So it's just it's mind boggling when we just see dumb shit like this. Like, and the thing about it, they just don't understand. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand. Like, I'm gonna say this: Pan Africans don't know how to stand alone by themselves. They don't know how to stand up for themselves. You know, like for example, look how we just got that the pan was it the fake Black Panther out the paint. Niggas been making money off this nigga. Niggas been yo basically dragging this nigga that he had to change his name to the Black Lions. Because you know why? Because his what he was doing didn't add up for wasn't adding up of what the Black Panthers was doing back in the days. So if that's not power, I don't know what power is.
Don't have a leader, but then you don't have no structure. Because a movement and a lineage still has leadership. And that's the thing. And so yes, right now he is not your leader, but he's definitely your daddy. For sure. For sure.
See, and this is what Pan Africans they try to be disrespectful instead of having a great conversation, they want to be disrespectful. Shabaka has done it to me so many times. So every time I have a chance to disrespect Shabaka, I'm gonna disrespect you, Shabaka. You know, especially with your broke nigga. Y'all niggas is broke in the Pan African community. Y'all niggas don't got money like that, and I'm gonna be personally honest. You know, and the reason why I started talking like this is because your boy Kwame. You didn't say nothing when Kwame was disrespecting Black Americans, calling them niggas broke ass FBAs. Niggas can't give no money. Blase, blase, blah. Kwame made that environment for people like you, Shabaka. So you can't blame Pan Africans for this. You can only blame Kwame.
Tell me somebody other.
Hold on. All right. So you see this conversation. We're having a civilized conversation at this moment in time. We're all sitting down. We're discussing particular things. Some of the words are a little bit outrageous, and honestly, even now, some of you guys are triggered while watching this video. But notice, like the vibe of it is, all right, we're cool. We're having a conversation. It's all chill. You know, one thing that made me crack up before was
Facts,
he
OC.
used the word diabolical, and I know, like I'm not calling claim. You know what? Should I say? Nah, I'm not gonna. You only hear that word from one person. You know, I'm the only person but that was cracking me up in the beginning of this video. But hold on, let's go forward. Let's move forward. So basically, right now, what's happening is they're basically saying like all these other FBA creators are not known. They're not popular. You know. And that's what was just said right now, and we're picking up from right there.
15, I was talking
So
about
that's
earlier.
not true.
Yeah,
They
You
definitely
got to catch
know.
that Rico case.
They definitely know Adonis.
I know.
And
Yeah,
I ain't
facts.
even been on
I thought.
TikTok that long, but folks definitely know
Onisha
Adonis.
know him.
I know that. Hold on. I understand. Listen, I appreciate that. And you know what? I'm gonna follow you, Adonis.
Nah, this is
Definitely. You
not
know
this is
what
not
I'm
my main
saying?
account. This is not my main account.
Good. I got you. But what I'm saying is as it relates, should there be some more competing influencers on it? Absolutely. But right now, he's carrying it. He's carrying it, and he's carrying it to hell. Now
Nah, hold on.
there is. Okay, go ahead.
Let me just say
Go
this.
ahead.
I like the first of all, I love the way you articulated yourself. I think it's dope. And I like the room. Like I said, you guys are fabulous people. I don't know why I chose that word, but it is what it is at this point. but nah, like everybody leans towards the hate, you know, and the hate is triggering to so many different people. I get crazy amounts of views with the content that I make and how I represent as an FBA member, and I influence a lot of people on how we should conduct ourselves in a way. Like Tariq Nasheed is one person. Okay, there's nothing wrong with he handles himself in the way he handles himself, but I don't think that everybody should be labeled under one particular Red Ranger, you know, or Blue
I
Ranger.
mean,
Like,
I feel the same way too, but you know how many times I got called tether in this live, not knowing that my dad is a Black American? Like, y'all, it's weird.
I tell people all the time, even in my content.
Lady, you go to your tether side. You go to your tether side. You forgot about your black side, so you can't get mad when when niggas labeled you. Y'all just labeled a whole fucking race, a whole ethnicity. Now y'all talking about How you feel that somebody called you a fucking tether? Like, come on, let's not do that. Y'all don't, and I'm gonna say this, Shabaka, y'all Pan Africans don't have no type of discipline. Y'all don't have no discipline. Y'all some loose cannons. Y'all some loose cannons. Y'all don't know how it's like to be civil. Y'all don't.
Like I don't even use the word tether, not because I'm trying to cater. I just don't want to. I'm not trying to conduct myself like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do
Now,
stuff
But
like
that's
that.
you, fam.
now,
Yeah,
Fam,
that's
that's you.
you.
That's you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Brother, I got
but
a legit
But
everybody.
he's
question for
he
you,
got
brother.
he speaks louder than you.
Yeah,
And they
and
say
just
the squeaky wheel gets the oil first, right? So he's the squeaky wheel. People are gravitating towards him. He's the
now in this
loudest.
Message.
aspect,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I don't think he's the loudest. I think that too many emotional people have too many big voices, and they're being triggered by these people at this moment in time. So that's what I say. Like
yeah,
I don't think that because I think like the way you guys handle. Like I'll give you an example. I was in two other live streams yesterday, and these people were diabolical. They had a lot of people in here, but you guys are conducting yourselves in a very educated way, and you don't have as much views as the other people. And that's only because people like drama and scandals and stuff like that. So I think
Dude,
that people in these communities just, yo, Rashad, you okay?
my bad. I'm walking. Yeah, my bad, fam. Let me
He
run on
never
you, bro.
goes
My
on
bad.
mute. He never goes on
yeah.
mute.
I understand like there's a lot of people who don't like FBA. There's a lot of people who don't like a whole bunch of different type of stuff. I'm saying like I just want to make awareness, yo, bro. We need to stop like acknowledging all of these different creating. It could be
I'm gonna say this, Adonis. I agree with you, but the shit ain't gonna happen. The shit ain't gonna happen, and the reason why, because as I said, and I got the gatekeeper from you. These niggas want to be the leaders of the black diaspora. They want to make decisions for black people. So at the end of the day, when you're fighting to spread unity, these Pan Africans don't want unity. They want control. They want to be the new slave master. And I'm sorry to use the word slave, but they look as that the black diaspora, the Pan Africans look at black Americans as slaves, as the worst of the worst. But at the end of the day, they don't see, and they have amnesia when it comes to our success, defining the odds, defying obstacles. So at the end of the day, this is what we get from Pan Africans. This is why Pan Africanism doesn't work, because they look down on us. It has always been like that. You are right, Adonis, but the shit ain't happening. They want to be the gatekeepers. Why you think they're trying to take it? Let's think about this. Why you think Pan Africanism is trying to take the Boulets out off of being gatekeepers, saying that they're infiltrating all this shit that's going on? They're settling for the Democrat shields. And don't forget, that's where Pan Africanism's going. Look who's their front face of black nationalism now. Al Sharpton. They in bed with Al Sharpton now. And he's a Democrat since ever since he been an informant.
Pan African, it could be African, it could be FBA. We need to start as a community of social media
Have
content.
you?
Huh?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We need to start as a social media, as a content creator, to start acknowledging that certain people shouldn't be standing at the podium to talk at the Million Man March. You know what I mean?
Have you seen
Mm.
No Jobs? Because he literally has a podium and he's another problematic FBA. Have you gone and talked to
Facts.
him and tell him how to represent FBA properly?
Mm.
Shout out to No Jobs. No Jobs be getting busy. I'll be watching you, No Jobs. Salute, player. Yo, there was this other guy. He told this nigga he eat monkey riblets and shit. So it's just like, yo, if you can't connect with our culture, don't go in our spaces. I'm just gonna be personally honest. The country that what we built. Yeah, yeah, yeah. OC, salute. You know, name one thing. You still asking that same question, SP? We're not gonna entertain that because you already know what Black Americans built. We built the infrastructure of this country that hasn't fell apart like your country. So you welcome in advance, SP. You know, name one physical structure. Everything in America. The fuck?
I could do what I do what I try to do.
Yo,
Let's say.
No, I'm just
yo,
saying. I'm
Don,
just saying. I'm
Don, I
giving you.
got a
I'm
legit
giving you
question.
tea.
now let me
Here's
ask.
another
Let me
loud
ask
one
this.
who's problematic.
Yeah.
But
Now let
even
me ask
Kira,
this.
Kira's problematic.
No, she's not.
Whoa,
How?
Yeah,
Kira.
you,
How?
you know
No,
you in the
she's
Whoa.
not.
wrong spot. Hey, I know you in the
Kira.
wrong spot for this one.
Kira.
Wow.
Yo. Donis knew what he was doing when he said that. That nigga Adonis is trying to burn the house down, my nigga. He's trying to make niggas crash out and blow up the house. House of Pan-Africanism. You know? How about this? The GPS system. Black Americans created the GPS system, created the alarm systems. Like, come on, don't do that, SP. You're playing yourself right now.
You in the wrong. Hey, you in the wrong neighborhood with that
Uh-oh,
one.
damn.
I
Wait,
was
wait,
about to
wait.
say,
Who's
Adonis,
up?
you
Oh,
can't go there
Oh,
now.
she took him down. She took him down. She knew she was smart to do that. You see that? She took him down. She's like, nah, fuck that. I can't talk to this nigga crazy while he's on there. But the thing about it, I would have talked crazy. I'm gonna be personally honest. I do talk crazy. So at the end of the day, I don't think they should have took him down and didn't give him a voice to speak. See, this is the type of Pan-African shit that people do. Me, I'm gonna sit you in timeout, and it's because you're fucking up the system. But yeah, this is what they wanted it. This is what they wanted.
Damn.
Now stop. You see the conversation we had. First of all, I just because it's about to get
You trolled
the
her.
intensity's
You
about to go
trolled
up,
her.
and I already know what's about to happen. So we was having a civilized
My nigga Adonis trolled fucking Kira. I gotta say that, Adonis, you trolled her. Shout out to Adonis. I like that shit. I'm glad you trolling her, man.
conversation. At this moment in time, they started naming people who are problematic. Conversation, nothing wild is happening, but you guys don't have a lot of views. But as soon as the drama starts, that's when you guys are gonna get a whole bunch of views and people jumping in. That's what's riling these people up. So she names one particular person. I didn't know who that person was. Maybe I'm familiar, but I don't know who it is off the top of my head. Even now, I don't know who it is. No jobs or something like that. Which is no hate, no shade, no none of that. You know what I mean? So then I say, okay, but you guys got Kira. Like Kira is like out of pocket. She's diabolical. Like, like she's problematic. You know what I mean? And then they say, whoa. What do you mean? How can you name people in my community, but when I address you with somebody in your community, you want to accept no accountability for it, and then you want to put defensive. And now they call Kira.
Up last night, like you were in months ago, harvesting clips, and that's what you're doing over here. You are a motherfucking problem because you wouldn't admit that this bitch on her green screen is a motherfucking problem. You nothing ass Negroes, you scum of the motherfucking earth.
That's a Pan-African, man. She's a failed Pan-African. Let me tell this broke ass motherfucker something. Shorty, your career was over before it started. I know you're trying to defend immigration and stuff, but handle the shit yourself. Why you always looking for a fucking handout? And I'm talking to you, Kara. You looking for a fucking handout? Like what? Like why do you need help from Black Americans? You get mad at Black Americans don't want to help you. Tariq Nasheed never had, and I'm gonna say this: Tariq Nasheed has never said he hated Africa. Afro Elite never said he hated Africa. I never said I didn't hate Africa. I said I would never go to Africa. Only time I'll go to Africa was for food and women, my nigga. Other than that, no. Why the fuck am I going to Africa? Ain't shit in Africa for me. You know?
Ass niggas. Now, bitch, hurry up, cause your motherfucking time is up. I told them
I do
3
got a,
minutes ago, your time was up, bitch.
I do got a
You got
question though.
5
Newberg,
seconds.
go on
Wait,
mute,
let me ask
Newberg.
this one
Go
question,
on
Robert.
mute, Newberg. Let her handle
5,
this. Going.
4.
Probably.
Right. Get the fuck on. The fuck
Yeah.
y'all bring that bitch up here for? Huh?
I don't
He
know
a
him.
Well, what
anti-black.
happened?
He's anti-black. He's anti-motherfucking everything. The fuck
Bitch, you just bitch, you just mad cause nobody ain't really following your movement no more. Your movement's dead, man. That shit is dead like cooked crack, man. Yeah, how the fuck did Pan African movement go out with the with the crack movement, my nigga? When crack ended, the Pan African movement ended. Like, come on, my nigga. They were catching perverts in y'all fucking movement. They were catching fucking losers, struggling, yo, scammers. Y'all niggas are scammers. Instead of trying to fix and look for handouts from Black America, you should be trying to fix the Pan African community. That shit is trash. You know? Ooh, Lakeisha and her 5 kids. SP, don't forget you got a black girlfriend, man. You talking crazy about black women? Yeah, that's nuts. And I might have to give give you a little bit of time out, man, because I'm not gonna let you disrespect your girlfriend like that. That's one thing I'm not gonna let you do is disrespect your girlfriend like that. And what I mean by disrespecting your girlfriend is because she's a black. You disrespecting black women is different. You know, yeah, I'm on that glass Malone shit. Like I can't have you disrespecting black women on my stage, especially who is your girlfriend or your fiance. I'm not gonna have you disrespect your fiance.
y'all bring him up here for? And then the first thing out his mouth, one of the first thing is, I'm a problem. No, bitch, you're a problem. That dick in your ass is a motherfucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
Tariq Nasheed will never fuck you. You're the problem, bitch. Fuck wrong with you?
Hey, Bookie Butt.
You was gonna come to my motherfucking family and talk about me and it would slide, ho. The fuck is wrong with you? You a man acting like a motherfucking bitch. Be a motherfucking man, boy.
Now she's trying to gaslight people. Now, see, Kara, I'm telling you, this type of life, this type of world is not for you. And you give black women a bad name. And I'm gonna tell you that, Kara. You give black women a bad name. I'm gonna say that. You give black women a bad name. How you fucking gaslighting it and you was the one spewing all this misinformation. Now when a nigga call you out on it and call you nigga, yo, you're divisive, now you're mad. Now you talk about a nigga's gay. This is what's wrong with certain people from the Pan-African community. You know, I'm gonna be personally honest. There's something wrong with y'all from the Pan-African community. Yo, stop calling my kids Asian. My kids ain't Asian. My kids just black, player. And you know what? I got a surprise for you. What's your name? Ping Fu. I got a surprise for you. Time out for 30 minutes, nigga. You just watch, player. Go eat some Franks. But yeah, he's actually my slave. Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, you gotta sit down. You gotta get time out. I can't have you disrespecting your girl like that. There you go. I'm not gonna have you call your girlfriend a slave either. Nah. Like you can make jokes about us. You can say, "Oh yeah, we slaves over here" and shit like that. But I'm not gonna have you disrespect your girlfriend. That shit is yeah. SP, you can't disrespect your girlfriend like that. And it's just off the benefit of your girlfriend or your fiance. Yeah, we don't do that race playing over here. This nigga's cooked. Respect to the sister. She's 100. Right. The righteous anger. Yeah. Nah, she isn't right. You know why? She's gaslighting. I'm gonna say this. And shout out to you, man. Thank you for coming on. She's gaslighting. And the reason why I'm gonna say she's gaslighting because she act like she don't know what type of business she's in. You're in the business of being judged. We're judging you for your actions. Her actions is fucked up, it's nasty, and it's not even ladies like. She sound like a whole nigga. And like we ain't gonna shout out to JD Lee. Salute, salute. We're not gonna like I said, she's in the world of being judged. She's a public figure. Well, not really a public figure, but you know, why y'all trying to make me shit on this girl? But she the reason why, put it this way, she might get views now because of Adonis. She might get views for Adonis, but at the end of the day, she's biased. Look how she didn't let Adonis answer the question. Look at what's going on. Here to show love to my brothers and call out all Asians. Adonis and many will woke us up to the truth about scam Africans. Yeah. And like I'm gonna say this, they infiltrated the black diaspora. I personally, and I'm gonna say this, Adonis put me on to something. I think, and just hear me out, I think Pan-Africans is trying to be the gatekeeper of just black people or the black diaspora. So I'm talking about Caribbeans, Africans, Afro-Latinas, the black American community. But at the end of the day, their bark doesn't weigh up to all the leadership that they don't have. They don't have leadership. Like, let's answer this question. Who is the leaders of the Pan-African community? Who are the real scholars? The only scholar that we know is Professor Smalls, and we got him out the paint. The last leader I remember, and he was actually a cult member, was Nature Boy. Nature Boy was pushing Pan-Africanism. It was extremist, but it was Pan-Africanism. Brother Polite was pushing a form of Pan-Africanism. Look where he ended up. He ended up jail for violating a 14-year-old girl. And I hope that girl's doing way better, and I hope she's getting the help that she needs. But Brother Polite needs to be in fucking prison. Another Pan-Africanist was African Bambaataa. He was out here violating little boys. And he was grooming them. He was grooming these little boys and doing his dirty work and doing dirty, nasty shit as a nasty fucking sexual deviant as he is. He is a predator. But he is a Pan-Africanist. This is why I say they infiltrated the black community. They infiltrated the black diaspora. They push Pan-Africanism and they don't accept that shit in Africa. Shabaka comes on this show every day talking about, yo, we're building communities in Africa. Nigga, where in Africa? We're having unity in Africa. Where in Africa? We're kicking everybody out of Africa. Where y'all kicking people out in Africa? Last time I remember, Nigeria just got airstriked by America. And this is what I said. I told Latinos, you need to be careful because you might be next. Look what they did at Venezuela. Only thing they're building is dreams. They're building the same thing that Obama did. He's selling niggas with tickets and dreams. That's the only thing that these Pan-Africans are doing.
Fuck is you coming over here to act like a bitch for? Like a messy ass, foot dragging ass
I'll be right back.
We're not gonna let that go on anymore. Matter of fact, nah, we are gonna let that go on anymore. And I'm gonna give my thoughts in the matter of fact, I'm gonna pause this right now. And everything I'm about to say, respectfully, is gonna go straight towards members only content. So give me a second. Because I need to say a couple of things that's only gonna go for members only. And I know y'all sitting there watching like, this is public domain, you feel me? I can't be moving like this. If you wanna see what I gotta say, it's gonna be members only content. Starting now. So we're picking up on this particular situation with this chick, Roz. I call her Roz, you know. I call her Roz. That's what I'm gonna call her. It's fucking. Look, hold on. Let me continue what she had to say from where we was at right now. From where we was at. This is what she has to say.
That's what the fuck you just did. I wasn't even coming up today. I'm trying to let my voice recover. And you thought that my family was going to allow you to sit up and talk about me. Talk shit about me like you some bitch. My husband don't want to fuck you, nigga. Are you jealous of the dick I get every night or something? The fuck is a grown-ass man talking about a woman for? I hope you post this to your YouTube, bitch. Because you have no motherfucking content, whore. So now, I hope this is the content you need. Fuck you bringing me up. You're the problem. You didn't have no business bringing me up. You motherfuckers like to throw rocks and hide your hand. You pussy ass motherfucker. A motherfucking man bringing up a woman. You messy bitch ass nigga.
Now she wants to be a woman, but she talks like a whole nigga. This is the type of shit. And don't get me wrong, I like hood chicks. I like project chicks, you know, but at the end of the day, you can't call yourself no fucking woman. You could call yourself a female, but a woman, I think she's using that word a little bit too loosely, no nigga. And I'm gonna be personally honest. Shorty's using that word a little bit too loosely. And I'm not trying to disrespect her, but like I see why these conservatives be kicking y'all niggas back in, and I defend hood chicks because I like hood chicks. I like project women. But this chick right here shouldn't be on. I don't think everybody should have a mic. I don't think everybody's supposed to have a mic if you can't handle the situations. So shout out to Kara, but sweetheart, you don't need no mic if you're gonna be gaslighting people.
Huh? You leaky pussy bitch. You niggas want a pussy. Stupid ass.
My
All right, I said I was gonna put it in members only, but nah, that was cool. That was calm. There's way more to this particular content, all right? So listen, throughout that particular situation, someone asked us, say, yo, like, why are you going so crazy? Like, what was the reason? Why are you talking to him like that, you know? And she said this. So pay attention. Like, she said this. This is what she said.
Because they brought me a tape of him disrespecting a woman, telling her she's beneath him. So I said, get this nigga off my panel,
I think he was talking about the South African girl. I'll let him explain.
bitch, you beneath me. You can't speak on my panel because you're beneath me. Fuck wrong with him? He want to get fucked. He want my dick in his motherfucking ass. That's what he want. That's what all these niggas want, me to stretch their motherfucking rectum.
She has to be from New York.
Was this with the whole when South Africans was going back and forth
I don't
with
know. This was a year ago. I don't know anything about that.
This raggedy bitch, man. And I have to call her a raggedy bitch, and I don't want to call you one, but come on. You can't, and this is the misinformation that I be talking about. You can't say everything. You can't say everything under the moon. And when they ask you a question, oh, was it this situation? You be like, oh, I don't remember. Nigga, you just said it. Why are you saying something you don't remember? You didn't look it up. You don't say, well, I don't know. She don't understand the South African women that he was pressing. She was calling us cotton pickers, was making fun of us getting killed. And this is the Pan-African bullshit that I be telling niggas about. They want to defend these Africans from us talking shit about them, but when they call us cotton pickers and akatas and wild animals and all this other buffoonery, then we supposed to turn the other fucking cheek. We're supposed to turn the other fucking cheek. What the fuck is going on? Why do I have to turn the other cheek? Why can't I defend myself? And then let me tell you what these Pan Africans do. They infiltrate that Martin Luther King and John Lewis bullshit. And I call it bullshit because you know why? Martin Luther King became a fucking extremist before he died. He was revolting from for every shit that he was saying in the beginning that everybody talk about that I have a dream bullshit. The nigga was pushing back on that. We don't talk about that. He started talking about reparations. So all y'all Pan-Africans, why don't y'all talk about when Martin Luther King was talking about reparations? Talk about tangibles. The same shit that the niggas that you hate, what's his name? Not Dr. Umar. King Flex. King Flex is talking the same shit Martin Luther King was talking about before he became extremist towards the white supremacists. Now they pushing this narrative. Oh, he was fucking 40 bitches and hitting his wife. Y'all ain't worth shit, nigga. I'ma say that you and the white supremacists ain't worth shit. That's why y'all niggas is getting deported and the white supremacists is dying from niggas with lace fronts. Them gay niggas is shooting you. Them niggas with the small hats is ostracizing y'all niggas. They getting y'all niggas out the paint and y'all crying like victims. Now I'm gonna ask y'all this. I'm gonna ask the immigrant community this. Where's the Pan-Africans? If they so strong and bold and they want to be the gatekeepers and all this other shit, where are they now? They want to be the leaders. Where are they? Why aren't they on the forefront with y'all? Where are those red, black, and green flags when they're protesting for you? That's the difference between a black community and the Pan-African community. We get our hands dirty if we have to. That's the difference.
I was hosting live, my regular lives. This was last year. So I can't remember if it was
But
if it was about South Africans, because I didn't
But
run
that has
lives about
nothing to
that.
do with what she just said.
All right. So yeah, what she's talking about right now is 100% the South African situation. If you're not familiar with it, here's a clip from that South African situation of what we're talking about. This is it.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. You think that they gonna let you disrespect pop, nigga? I think that oh hell nah. My map done grew out.
Wow. Diabolical. This South African woman is dressed up like Harriet Tubman, holding cotton, listening to They Not Like Us. Let's go to YouTube. Diabolical. Where are the Pan-Africans? Where's Dr. Umar? You know what? Hold on. Before we even get this thing started, this is a particular situation that's been happening on social media right now. One of the most diabolical, nasty, viral confrontations with Black Americans and now South Africans. Now, I haven't been diving deep into the South African Black American situation.
Right? So where were the Pan-Africans? As you can see, I'm assuming this chick is a Pan-African. But as we sit down and let's talk about it, when we sat down and I said, yo, like he said he was talking to a woman and said that she's beneath me. Yeah, that chick is beneath me. Look at the way she was talking. She using a whole lineage of people's pain and suffering of slavery and ancestry to sit there and make content and make jokes about it like it's funny. I don't think that's appropriate. So yeah, that person is beneath me. But when it comes down to you, members only content. Starting now. When it comes down to this, excuse my language, these Pan-Africans. Now notice how the conversation was actually, civilized, cool, calm, collective. And then she hops into it and changes it. They actually wanted to understand.
Don't forget. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, I got that shit on that. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, everybody. I don't know where I got that at. Give me a second, everyone. I don't know where I got that volume at. Hold on. Hold on one second, everyone. I gotta figure out where that's coming from.
It's cool, we cool. Now all of a sudden, you're the this and you're the that. No, nigga, I don't give a fuck about what brains or what munchie be. Say them niggas is younger than me. Them niggas wasn't even born when I started gangbanging. Maybe that's your era.
Give me a second, everyone. I don't know where the fuck that shit.
I'm gonna say this. This is my issue with Pan-Africanism. I don't give a fuck about no niggas getting in blood business, a crip business. It's on the internet. It's everybody's business. So stop popping that, you weird ass, illiterate ass, too wide for your look like marshmallow Martian man ass nigga.
Damn, where the fuck is that at?
You wrote on there and said the blood.
Oh shit. It's my phone, everyone. My fault. I was like, yo, where am I hearing that shit at? All right, give me a second. I'm gonna go back. Everybody, also don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the live chat. Also, if you're gonna comment in the live chat, you have to be a subscriber. So subscribe, and also if you want to send in a donation, I have put it on to the page. It's Streamlab and Cash App. So definitely all the Cash App and Streamlabs Lab goes to the goes to the platform. So if you do give some few dollars, thank you. I appreciate it and salute. You know, so yeah.
Why I say this? What's going on? Let's have a discussion. No, she kicked me out. As soon as I went in there, I don't know if she's mod or whatever. She kicked me out as soon as she got in there and then started ranting. What the fuck is the point of you sitting down, saying all of this shit, being this fucking desperate for attention to try to change and control the narrative without sitting there and being and letting that person be up there? So throughout the time, I'm sitting there like, yo, shorty, you proving my point. Like, you're proving my point. She's proving my point at this moment in time. All you did, you came up here, disrupted the whole situation, destroyed the environment that we was having. We was having an intellectual conversation. And if you felt some type of way about me saying your name, then you come up here and prove the reason why I say your name. Like, this is where it comes down to it. If you're African or if you're Black American or if you're Pan-African, listen to what I'm saying. Pay attention to what I'm saying, all right? It's people like this that literally only success or names of fame is toxic hate and anger. That's it. They only make their money from this social media stuff by going live and feeling popular with themselves and making little coins and stuff like that and killing up dopamines and setting up this distaste and distrust between the communities of itself. That conversation was moving progressively well. We were understanding the situation. She came up, kicked me down, and then started ranting and cursing people out and saying all this derogatory, particular type of stuff throughout that whole conversation without me being up there, speaking to people that was just taken off guard. You came in and
preach. So all I gotta say is preach. That lady was gaslighting the shit out of people. They were gaslighting the shit out of people. And that was my only issue with the lady, because she was gaslighting. Does she have a point? We don't know, because at the end of the day, look how she started and look how she ended it. She ended it like a victim, like she was the victim. Like I said, you can't come at people like you a whole nigga, then after that, you scared to let the person talk, and you're gonna tell them, oh, look what he's doing to me. He wants to attack me. Ah, he's bullying me. What Africans usually say, he's bullying me. He's bullying me. And I had to tell my African friends, you gotta stop saying that. Niggas is bullying you. You're not a victim. You too old to be getting bullied.
bombarded the situation, kicked me down, and it started raging and come on, like, what's good with you? Like, I don't understand. And then they sat there and allowed that to happen. Yeah. That was even crazier. Like, and this is one of the situations. It's like, yo, but this is where it comes down to me. I got to remember, like, bro, you know, I don't be in these TikTok lives. You feel me? So for people that are in these TikTok lives and in these TikTok ecosystems, and I just came back, So like I'm thinking about all of this stuff, you know. I'm really thinking like, oh, I just came back. So like some of these people don't even know that I'm relevant, like or I'm popping, or I'm late, or what. They don't even know, you know what I mean? Because I'm not in these ecosystems. So and that's fine, you know, because every ecosystem is completely different. But on my page and my platform in different ecosystems, I'm popping. That's the reason why I don't sit down and talk crazy in these videos. Is because it's not just
I do. Let me tell you why I talk crazy. And I'm gonna be personally honest. Is because I'm tired of people thinking they could get away with shit. You know, and it's not like I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let you get away with shit. I'm not gonna have you just disrupt anything that's going on. As I showed y'all in November, these Pan Africans are working overtime. The money tree is running dry. They need more money to get dashikis and kufis and black women and going to Africa and eating monkey knuckle riblets and shit. Yo, it's running dry. The best thing, and I'm gonna say this: the best thing that they're doing right now is the best thing that they need to be doing. They're trying to be the gatekeeper of the black community so they could get it 15 different ways. You get it from Africa, you get it from the Caribbeans, you get it from Africans in Canada, uh, England, Africa, Portugal, Spain, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, what's left for Argentina, the black population in Argentina, Brazil. They're trying to get it 15 different ways. They're trying to make sure that they're going to have money, but they've been getting all their resources from black Americans. This is why, and I'm going to say this is why the white supremacists look at us as weak. This is why people like SP say what he says about black people, saying that, yo, we're slaves, we're this and that, and stop and won't acknowledge that most of us fought. Most of our ancestors fought. Most of our ancestors got busy. There was this guy named in South Carolina named the Grim Reaper. He killed like 9 or 10 fucking slave masters. And white people were scared about, dude, this nigga, they were scared of this nigga's grave. That's how scared of this motherfucker he was. They don't talk about shit like that. They don't talk about the Nat Turner, the revolt. They had a lot. Nigga, when I was growing up, they were lying on Nat Turner. They would say, oh, yo, this nigga was out here violating white women. He was a homo. They would say crazy shit about Nat Turner. He was a killer. He was killing his own people. They're not gonna tell you all the crazy shit that your ancestors was doing. What they were doing to the white supremacists, letting you know the real reason why they let these black Americans out of captivity. They're not gonna talk about that. These niggas was out here getting busy. They were out here getting busy, busy, busy. Yeah, Shabak is out there with his peoples, them Senegalese people. They were partying in the streets and getting tackled by ICE. Oh yeah. Yeah, that nigga's from Harlem. The Senegalese part of Harlem. He's not from the old school Harlem. That nigga, his parents are fleers, my nigga.
about black, and a lot I seen people in my comments saying, yo, you know, you tiptoeing, you peaks. Nah, y'all gotta understand something. Like I'm not just lit for y'all. Like I'm not just watching video. And I'm talking to black Americans as well. I'm talking about everybody who's watching this. I'm in this ecosystem of black American topics. I can sit down and have these conversations and talk about it. And the black American community, African community, a Pan-African community can sit down and watch it and they're familiar with my face and they're familiar with what I do. Cool. But when I jump out of this Black American topic and start talking about stuff traveling abroad and stuff like that, I have a whole nother demographic. When I'm in Romania and I'm making content in Romania that has nothing to do with being associated to your ethnic group, I have a whole nother demographic of that. So when I sit down and I have these conversations with you guys, I understand that, oh man, people from the El Style Awards might be watching this. Oh man, the people from EMAG might be watching this. Oh man, the people from Prada, Gucci, Armani, like all
Randall.
of these brands. Like I'm not sitting down promoting, but this is my stuff. This stuff
Hey, I'll be right back,
get gifted
everybody.
all these stuff from these particular brands and stuff like that. They're watching my channels, they're watching my pages, they're watching what I'm doing. I'm not gonna sit here and think that my whole identity is being a diaspora conclusionary fighting fan. I got more shit that's going on. I'm moving multiple different things. I'm more complex than that. But for this chick, her whole identity is this. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you sit down and try to sit down and have an educated conversation with these Pan-Africans, no hate to Pan-Africans. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, listen, it's the Pan-Africans who are starting a war between the African Americans and the Black Americans at this moment in time. From what I've seen from being on TikTok Live and interacting with these particular groups, every single time I've interacted with a Pan-African, they've always turned the whole situation to a negative, distasteful environment. Not able to communicate, always trying to be derogatory, always trying to disrespect people, and it's not solving anything. When I see ISO Speed go to Africa, people in Africa are really nice to him, except for when he went to Nigeria. People were very, it was an aggressive situation. But the people from Africa was really nice to them. You know, even when I have conversations with people in London that are African, they're all really nice. You know, we might have very sensitive topic conversations, but at the same time, they're very nice, they're very calm. You know, we're cool. Whenever I interact with a Pan-African, that literally, it's always some diabolical behavior. It's always some blah, 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 blah. And I never understood what was the issue. So when I look at this particular situation, and I'm wondering, like, yo, bro, like, why does this keep happening? What's going on with this situation? Where's the confusion or the disconnect coming out? It's the middleman. The middleman is the Pan-African, the African American. I honestly don't think that it's Black Americans who are going to war with Africa. I think it's African Americans who are going to war with Black Americans and Africans. I think at the end of it all, they're trying to divide and conquer and make us fight with each other so they can be the superior beings at the top to gatekeep the situation. That's what I'm looking at this moment in time.
I told you. Let me tell you something. When he said gatekeepers, I was like, yo, yeah, that triggered me. The gatekeepers triggered me, and the reason why I'm gonna say it was triggering because at the end of the day, I understood what he was talking about. Whenever anything ever happened, who always I'm gonna give you an example. When the whole thing about Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans helped create hip hop and niggas was like, no, that shit wasn't happening. Who jumped in there? Who's the first person we seen? Dr. Umar Afantafutu or whatever that nigga's name, Mbutu, whatever the nigga's name is. That's the nigga who jumped in there. When Black Americans was defending themselves from the Caribbeans and the Africans talking dirty about them, who jumped in there and said, yo, we need to come together? Instead of saying, yo, you was wrong for doing that. Dr. Umar. Other Pan-Africans. They were going into black spaces blaming Black Americans. The Pan-Africans did that. It wasn't the Africans. It wasn't the Caribbeans. They were arguing with us, but they did not blame us about the situation. It was the Pan-Africans that put the full blame on Black Americans. Because they know if they control Black America, they control most of it. They control the Black diaspora. We are the blueprint. We have always been the blueprint. And I have always said that. I have said that Black Americans has always been the blueprint. It's just now we're seeing it. We're seeing that, Black Americans are the blueprint. Nothing goes through Black Americans. Your shit ain't popping if it has no Black American culture. And this is why I say I talk about France more than I talk about these fucking tethers in America. Cause these tethers in America ain't worth a box of fucking cookies. Them niggas in France, they did that shit by themselves. They were influenced by us, but all the hard work and all the blood, sweat, and tears and all the bullshit that they were going through, they did that shit by themselves. They didn't have black Americans to turn to like niggas are in America has. They have never. This is why I give them French Africans more credit than these American Africans in America. Always. It has never been like, oh, yo, I'm trying to divide. No, them niggas are solid. So when I talk about their music, when I talk about their culture in France, when I talk about the things that they do in France, and I tell people all the time, I would never go to France, really. I would probably never go to France. You have to give me a reason to go to France. You know? But if I was gonna go, those would be the reasons why. They live like niggas. They don't live like they're better than niggas. They come here, they're Afropeans. They're Afropeans when they come to America. What is that's the difference between America and France. France got it from the mud. Were they influenced by black Americans? Absolutely, but they got it through the mud. They didn't have a Martin Luther King where they say, yo, help us. No, Martin Luther King could have come over there. They didn't have a Malcolm X. Them niggas stuck together and worked. They got busy. These niggas in America are lazy. These Africans in America are lazy. They lying talking about they came over here with $2 in their pocket. Nigga, if we can't do it with $1,000, how the fuck you doing it with $2 in your pocket? It's called resources.
I don't sit down and find, and just like in my video when I sat down and said, we're the Pan-Africans. When she said, I don't know. It was just to clarify. I'm just gonna like these ideas is in my head. She said like it was a video of him saying that this woman was beneath him, you know. So yeah, and the lady said, was it the video with the South African situation? Because I'm sure that the one who said it was familiar with it. Was it during the South African situation? She said, oh, I don't know. I wasn't. Where were you during the South African situation? Where were you? Where were you during the South African situation? Where were the Pan-Africans during the South African situation? Ghosted. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So when it comes down to all of these particular things and these voices of people, like I'm always acknowledging, I'm always looking at, I'm just like, and this is not about this particular person. She's a nobody. And I'm not saying that to disrespect her. I'm just like, it's literally irrelevant. All right. She got 5K followers. It's just somebody who's ranting online.
You throwing shots at artists. You know you are. And I'm going to say that it's some New York shit. And there's nothing wrong with it. You know, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. This is just New York shit.
So don't even take it seriously.
It's like, yo, if I have some fly ass shit on it, you like, yeah, that's fly, but you're wearing it wrong. You'll say some shit like that.
Don't think about too much about it. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Shout out to New York.
But it's people like this that paint these narratives and spread all of this toxic behavior that encourage people to behave in one particular way. So there's people in the Black American community who I think should argue with these type of people. There are people in the Black American community who I think should respond to these type of people. That's why I don't have a problem with Tariq Nasheed. Why? Because Tariq Nasheed needs to counteract these type of people. That's why I never have a problem with Halo. Why? Because Halo could proper G-check the hell out of this chick.
Shout out to Halo.
Which she probably already did. I'm just saying.
Yo.
For every pro, there's a con. It's up to you who are watching this particular situation. It's up to you who's sitting down and learning and like who's not on this social media tip, not in the face of all of this stuff, to sit down and try to understand what's actually going on. And I feel like I'm one of those creators who are trying to understand exactly what's going on. I'm not going to sit here and be arguing with broke, impoverished people who just want to sit here and talk about a whole bunch of different type of shit. Key fact.
You could tell, yo, Adonis, I'm gonna say this. I could tell you're from New York, my nigga. He said, I'm not gonna be arguing with broke, impoverished people. Nigga, that sound like some New York shit, my nigga. Oh my God.
Shorty said, I don't have content. I'm abroad and I can't make content in my own situ, blah, blah, blah. I don't know nothing about you. You know a whole bunch about me. Right?
New York
Dead
shit,
ass.
my nigga.
I don't know nothing about this chick at all. She just, I don't know nothing about this chick.
Yo,
you know?
my man. Is it? Hey, yo,
I'm saying
I'm gonna
this to
say
say-
this. This is why I fuck with a lot of black people from New York. You know, even some of y'all foreigners, I do fuck with some of y'all niggas in New York heavy. And this is the reason why. If you're a tether, I don't fuck with you. But if you're just a regular immigrant, that's mad funny, my nigga. Yeah. That shit is funny.
Nah, I'm not saying anything. The more attention I give these people, the more they feel special. You know what I mean? So when we sit down and say, oh yeah, that's what I want to say. Yeah, that's what I want to say. The reason I always screen
Facts,
record
JD,
any type
yeah.
of live stream or any type of content pertaining to what's on my For You page, especially if I jump into the conversation. If I jump into the conversation, I'm screen recording it. Because you're not going to paint no narrative. You're not going to sit here and say, oh, he said this. You're not going to grab a clip and put it out of context. Nah, I record every single interaction of me being in it because that's how I have safety for myself. So just when you're about to say some dumb shit, I'll pull out the clip and upload it, the full clip, unedited, unchat, and you can't say nothing about me at any moment in time. I'm credible like that. So don't think I'm gonna sit there and walk into a room just like I was in. Luckily, I walked into that room. She just put out this whole propaganda.
Hey, yo, SP, is that true? Your girlfriend used to be your boyfriend? Somebody wrote that in the chat. I'm just asking a question. So that girl you call your girlfriend was she was born a baby boy. And there's nothing wrong with it, man. You love who you love, my nigga, but you know, I'm just asking a question. You know, the chat want to know, not me, man. Yeah, man. They say oh shit. They said the mama had a baby boy. So which one's gonna be the husband? I want to know. SB. I'm I'm just asking the questions, man. I'm just curious, man. I'm just curious. So,
About me for hours. Told about me for
oh
hours.
shit.
I got the clip. I could show you how we
He's
got here.
confused.
Now you just watched how we got here from here. And you tell me who's tripping and who's not. I'm just saying. You watched from beginning to end.
Yeah, we watched.
Automatic. Exactly. And none of them actually stopped it. None of them actually know people. You got to come to my family using these trigger words. Family,
He's the husband
friends.
on the
Don't
weekend.
push back on me. Let me behave the way I want to behave. How's that family and friends if they can't even check you when you out of order? Those guys were speaking very intelligently. And then towards the end, they all started switching up. I don't understand it. But I don't have no beef with any of them at all. I thought that I didn't know any of those guys at all. I wasn't familiar with any of them. It was the first time that I actually.
Hey yo, quick question. SP, do y'all niggas wear matching pajamas?
She recognized them. I actually interacted with them. I think, and I was having an interesting conversation, and that was the situation, you know.
Oh,
but
shit.
now,
Niggas is
like,
wilding right now.
I understand that you're really not. You don't really care about fixing or solving a situation. I understand that you don't really care about clarification or understanding. I understand that it's all about teams. You know, it's all about teams. I'll be the first real person to tell you, I don't think the way Tariq Nasheed handles everything is perfectly, and I don't think he thinks the way he handles everything is perfectly. He just has less of a filter than me. And I'm trying. You know, I'm trying because I wanted to go crazy on here, you know? There's clips that's cut out of this for a reason. Because I'm not trying to be seen in that way. I'm telling you. I'm very curious because I honestly think it's the Pan-Africans who are starting on that particular situation. I'm very curious because I honestly think it's the Pan-Africans who are starting this war. Besides that, I have to give a shout out to Mook the The Yam 5520. Shout outs to Mook the Yam 5520 for becoming the newest member inside of this chat.
Um, is that how you and your boyfriend met? Y'all stopped a robber. Y'all stopped a robber together. Let me ask you a question, SP. You told me, and this is how I know you're lying, and this is how I knew you're a full blown racist. You told me you had black people in your community. Now all of a sudden it's just Chicanos and shit.
I put them early into the chat, but I appreciate you. And we also have a couple comments from the last video that we posted up on YouTube. So I want to read back a couple of these comments. Actually, I think I screenshot one comment that was really interesting. It was an African guy. Hold on, I really want to look for it. Give me a second. Hold on.
If he's gonna start reading, we could just end this.
Behave like that. It was just a whole bunch of cursing out, name dropping, so we can show the world how interacting with them is. Like, everyone says that FBA is the problem, and they try to put FBA into a generalization.
I'm gonna say this, Adonis, and I'm gonna end this. They already know that what you're doing is great, but they know what they're doing. I'm not gonna we're gonna skip this one. Black Americans confront Pan-Africans on betrayal. We're not gonna watch that. We're gonna watch this one. I'm gonna say this. You know what? No, I'm gonna do a. You know what? Let me go back. Because I'm gonna do one more. SP, why you put hands down? I know it was you. Thumbs down, you little nutsack. I'm gonna do one more and I'm gonna do this. Hold on, give me a second. I want to go back to the one I was just at. Let's see. All right, this one right here. We're gonna use this one. I was gonna do the other one, but I think this one's a little bit better.
What is your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What is your name? What is your name? What is your name? What is your name?
Society are living in under like crushing poverty. I mean, and I'm talking about.
Hey yo, Shabaka, what is your name?
What's your name?
Hey yo, Shabaka, I didn't hear. What is your name?
What's your name? What is your name? What is your name? What is your name?
Yo, niggas
What
is
is your name?
crazy.
That society are.
Yo, niggas is crazy for doing that shit. Yo. Yo, that's nuts. Yo, niggas is and this is the thing when I say, yo, y'all niggas can't really hang out with black Americans because niggas be joking around like that, clickers and popping and shit. Like we're just joking around. Niggas be talking about niggas be joking around with everybody. It's just the thing about people can't really fuck with our culture. So it's just it's a wrap, my nigga. There's no solidarity. We showed yesterday that there was no solidarity with the Latinos. Now I'm telling y'all, the Pan-Africans is trying to infiltrate the black diaspora. And I'm gonna say this: they were almost there. They were almost there. Don't get it fucked up. They were almost there to infiltrate. So yeah, what else can I say?
living in under like crushing poverty. I mean, and I'm talking about like little to no infrastructure, shanty towns all across the country. Like, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I noticed that a lot of people who are arguing back and forth with Black Americans have a lot of very tribalistic talking points, and it's always hyper focused on like their culture, their tribes, and stuff like that. That none of that stuff is marketable, none of that stuff is sellable. So if that is like the main focus like of your country, everybody's all so tribalistic and so divided and just fighting back and forth with each other over stuff that isn't even sellable, that nobody even cares about other than you, then your country is probably going to be destitute. People are arguing back and forth with me about culture and languages and stuff that, like, if you're from a capitalist society, like, nobody cares about that stuff. Like, that's the reason why I feel like a lot of Black Americans feel like Pan-Africanism does not benefit.
I'm gonna say this, everyone. She is right. And the reason why I'm gonna say she is right, because at the end of the day, she's giving y'all the infrastructure of most of African's countries. Are there some nice places in Africa? Absolutely, there are some nice places in Africa, but it's not a lot. I'm gonna be personally honest, and I'm gonna blame the Africans because they let other people come in there and fuck it up, and this is why I said we are different from y'all, because we would fight. Like, put it this way, Black Americans, a lot of us don't live in the most nicest things, but we're not dirty. We're not dirty. We don't live in those type of situations. Like honestly, like our shit might be messy, but you can smell pine sol. You can smell pine sol, and it's easy to clean up messy things. Hygiene wise, we're clean people.
Black Americans, because all of the talking points are always about what we can do for Africa, how we can build up Africa and help Africa, how we can send reparations over to Africa. And it's like, well, what do we get out of that? In exchange for that, you're offering us a connection to our roots, a connection to our heritage, our lineage. Nothing that can help.
SP, Black American men are the most involved fathers out of any race. Black people are. It's not your people. Yeah, your people. Yeah, they're different.
Us, nothing that can help build us up as a people that can actually benefit us, our descendants. Like, I'm sorry, but money in exchange for culture, it's not equal. Like, I'm sorry, you don't have to come with something a lot better than that. If we're actually going to work together in a Pan-Africanist type of way, you got to offer more than languages and culture, because there's just not enough value there. And I'm not talking about raw resources that half of you guys wouldn't even be able to tell us where to even find raw resources.
Hey, everybody, we're close to 500. We're almost about to be monetized, everybody. Salute to all of y'all in the live chat, too. We're close to 500. That means, this show's we're gonna be doing big things with this show, man. And I appreciate y'all. I will say that I joke around with y'all all day, but I do appreciate y'all coming on the show and being live in the live chat, man. I'm gonna say this. I'm thankful to give y'all a platform. I will say that.
Don't even know what to even do with them. I'm talking about real economic growth. I'm talking about, people in my comment section talking about, you don't know your language. Who cares? Let's talk about economics. Let's talk about building. Let's talk about making money. Let's talk about stuff that actually is going to build up societies. All of that tribalism talk is the reason why a lot of these countries look like shit. And I'm just being all the way real, because you're hyper focused on culture and all this stuff that doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't benefit anybody except you and your site. Nobody's buying that. The only culture that's being bought, honestly, is Black American culture. The United States has done a good job at selling our culture to the entire world. But other than that, most countries can't do that. Okay? Like, if you really look at China is like a superpower. They are not hyper focused on their own culture on a global scale. Okay, they're focused on manufacturing. They make everything. Every time there's a new trend that comes out, or a new trinket that everybody wants to buy, you best believe that China is on top of their game. They're gonna have that product out by next week, because their focus is on the capitalism, the economic part of whatever. They're focused on economics, they're not hyper focused on tribalism and culture. So I have yet to see a society that has all of these tribalistic talking points that is actually successful financially. Get out of your emotions. Those emotions will have you broke. Period. I'm not saying that the United States is perfect, but what I am saying is that it wouldn't be so many people that need to flee their country that are suffering. Like, people are suffering and trying to find here, there, and everywhere to go to try to have an opportunity for a better life. They flocking over here. They flocking to the UK. They flocking to different European nations. It's like they're trying to flee because they're the focus of their nation is all this corruption, and the focus is not on the right things that will help the society build and grow.
Foundational Black Americans have to go there with a bag. We ain't going over there empty-handed. If we go over there, they want to see what we're holding, ma'am. Let's not play that game. Those African nations are not welcoming us, ma'am. I've been over there. You're talking to somebody who's been all over there. I've been over there damn near begging for dual citizenship for foundational Black Americans in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, Tanzania. I'm over there begging some of the officials, hey, man, why don't y'all have easy dual citizenship? Y'all have all of this beautiful land. Yeah, it's beautiful, very beautiful out there. But all of this beautiful land out here, just spaces and acres of land that's untapped. We can bring capital. We have access to resources over in America. Why don't y'all open the doors for us and give us dual citizenship with no red tape? Nobody was really biting. That's just the reality of it, ma'am. We can sit up here and talk all that coon. They weren't biting on it. And that was the least they can do for us, because we don't get anything from this whole Pan-African thing. This Pan-African thing has been one-sided. Pan-African is basically foundational Black Americans fighting to get everybody to come over here and eat off us. That's what it's been for the last 60 years. It has been one-sided.
Did you say that one more time, or
He made a great point. And that's why I say I blame Pan-Africans, because Pan-Africans did do that. They gave the open doors for Africans and Caribbeans to come over here and other cultures to come over here and eat off of us. So it's not a good look for y'all, even though y'all try to cover it up and say, oh no, we worked hard to get this and yada yada yada. Nah, I don't believe that. Exactly says, but we different. Yeah, facts. You're right, JD.
rephrase that?
I said Pan-Africanism, the whole Pan-Africanism thing has been one-sided. It only us over here fight to help everybody come over here and eat off us, and we get nothing in return, ma'am. Pan-Africanism, ma'am, it is one-sided, is it not?
I don't think so.
Okay, what have you done over in the continent to welcome foundational Black Americans in large numbers? All you did, ma'am, was spew a bunch of catchphrases. You just said a bunch of nothing burgers, ma'am. I asked you what y'all doing, and you start making up some stuff about some oil. You're just making stuff up off your head, ma'am. Some oil and your family and connect. We got to get together, and let's not have some doubt. Ma'am, this is called babbling. This is called babbling, ma'am. And what it is, a lot of you want to get in these spaces, and you're not really bringing anything to the table. So when you don't bring anything to the table, y'all try to babble in order to mask this fact, ma'am. And that's the thing with us. We don't really like people coming around babbling incessantly, spewing a bunch of word salad and nothing burgers, knowing that you're not really bringing anything to the table. That's very passive aggressive.
The reason Black Americans don't take Pan-Africanism seriously is because we've never seen it in the places where it actually makes sense. What we see, by and large, are Black immigrants who come here and preach Pan-Africanism. Which
that was another infrastructure too, where that was a still COINTELPRO. That was a COINTEL move that Pan-Africans did while we were fighting in the streets in the 50s. In the 60s, Pan-Africans came over here and said that Africa was our culture. Knowing our grandparents always said that's not where we're from. We're not from Africa. Our grandparents said that, so it is what it is. That's what they said, so give me a second, everyone. So yeah, it's bullshit. He's right about that. Our grandparents always, that's what Pan-Africans did, and that's why I said it always been CIA co-opted. PSYOP. I'm sorry, PSYOP, psychological operation. It always has been that, because at the end of the day, we always looked at ourselves as native to America. We did not ever look at, we knew that some Africans did come over to this country, but we didn't. They told us we're all from this country. I mean, we're all from Africa. That's why when we started asking questions like, yo, what part of Africa we from? All they say is Western Africa. What part of Africa? I didn't say what region, what part of Africa we're from,
makes absolutely no sense, because America has 30 or 40 million black folks. Okay. We don't have any resources. We don't control any industries. Like literally, we have no control over natural resources in this country. We do not control anything. We have nothing to offer. This country only has jobs from white people. Meanwhile, in Africa, there are hundreds of, like close to 1 billion black people. All the natural resources in the world that black folks could theoretically control, because you have the numbers. You can control industry. Like, why not go home and preach that? As we sit here right now, we have Ghanaians trying to kick Nigerians out of their country. Where's the Pan-Africanism? As we sit here, in 2024, there was a sister who went for a beauty pageant in South Africa. But her dad, I believe, was like Nigerian, her mother's from Mozambique. And they lost their mind because they felt like, you're not really one of us. Again, where's the Pan-Africanism? Now, again, to be fair, these are just sort of select cherry-picked examples. But you get the point. For some reason, this concept seems to only be salient here in America, where, again, we don't have the numbers and we don't have the resources. This concept would be taken much more seriously if we saw it work back there. Right? Like, if we saw close to 1 billion black people rise up collectively to challenge white dominance. Not to get a few jobs from white people, but to actually challenge the domination. To say, we're going to control the resources collectively. Borders don't matter. We are one people. If we saw that movement, successfully, where you got the numbers, like tomorrow you could do this, this would be a concept that would make much more sense. But we don't see that. So whether it's Marcus Garvey or whomever, you see immigrants coming here and saying, let's preach Pan-Africanism. And so it's just a challenge for us, because we've never seen this concept work where it makes the most sense for it to work, where it could actually work. And so from our perspective, it just sounds like you're trying to eat off my plate, rather than how can we make a whole plate factory. Your best position, we're not. Yes, America has a much larger economy than all of these other countries. We don't have access to it. We're literally competing for a few jobs from white people. That's what we got. Why is that? Well, we've just never been in a really good position, right? So, yes, there was slavery in the Caribbean, but the British left, the French left. We had to live under our oppressor every single day, our very violent oppressor. And so, no, we just didn't have the opportunity.
I'm gonna say this, everyone. It's to me, it always has been weird with the Pan-African movement, because they're the ones who push more lies than I think the white supremacists. And I always consider Pan-Africanism movement white supremacy ideology. And the reason why, and I said that first before the Pan-Africans and the Tethers started using it. And the reason why I said Pan-Africanism was a white supremacy, I've been saying that shit for probably 2 years. The reason why I have always said it, because I believe Pan-African was dividing Black diaspora. They didn't help the situation. They just pointed at the one person that had more power than them and said, yo, you're the problem. That's what they did to Black Americans. They got mad at us because we said, yo, we're more than just Africans. How many times we told them in the beginning of the FBA wave, I'll say. Because it was a wave, man. It was a massive wave because a lot of people wasn't ready for that. A lot of people wasn't ready for the Pan-African, the FBA wave. You know, they were thinking like, oh, well, you know what? This is gonna die out. You know, and they're gonna come back just like the Black Panthers did. You know, Black Panthers died out because at the end of the day, nobody didn't want to fight no more. So they just rather comply and get a job. You know? But let's keep on listening.
And I'll be back. A new identity, right? We didn't have the opportunity to wake up and say we're Haitians and we're one. Like, we didn't get that, right? We were literally just trying to stay alive. We didn't get that. So whether you're Haitian, whether you're Ghanaian, Nigerian, Trinity, whatever you might be, You woke up every day in a place where you were in the majority. And as a black person from America, whose folks came out of the cotton fields, I admire that. There's a privilege in that I don't think you all recognize. A privilege to wake up every day and be in the majority. And so, yes, there's neocolonialism. Yes, there's a French indemnity on Haiti. All these things are true. But you at least have the opportunity to wake up every day in the majority on the ground and try to control your life. We could only dream of that. That is fantasy for us. It never existed. And so what I'm saying is, if you're asking why you feel resistance towards Pan-Africanism, if you're asking why American black folks seem hesitant to buy into it, it's because where it makes the most sense, where it has the highest probability to succeed, and where there are actual prizes to be had, we don't see that movement. So no, it doesn't make a lot of sense to us. It doesn't compute. Also, the rules seem to change, right? So again, we talked about what's happening in Ghana, in every other corner of the world from our perspective. And again, we're not scholars in, Pan-African affairs. We're not scholars in world affairs. Americans are very American-centric, right? Our media, everything just revolves around us. That's just true. But at least from our perspective, what it seems like is nobody else is being asked to buy into these notions of Pan-Africanism. And so when these Ghanaians say, we really don't want these Nigerians there, they're free to just do that. We know, or at least we feel very deeply, that if we reverse this, right, if a meaningful number of Americans went to any country and started to have a meaningful presence in government, in business, and getting jobs, there would be no movement of Pan-Africanism. And that would be true universally, right? So if a meaningful number of Jamaicans went to Haiti and started getting a bunch of positions in government, when Haitian people are still struggling, they started getting jobs, there would be no movement of Pan-Africanism. Those Haitians would rise up and say, no, y'all gotta go. If Americans who were best positioned to immigrate went to these countries and started getting, think about Karine Jean-Pierre, press secretary for Joe Biden. If an American expat got that position in any other country, would everybody be cool? Probably not, right? If a meaningful, get the word meaningful, if a meaningful number of middle-class Americans, because again, poor, uneducated people aren't moving across the world. They're not. They're not even moving across town. As a rule, certainly there are exceptions, but as a rule, if you're immigrating, it's because you have the resources and the means to do it. So educated Americans with resources, relocate, they go to other places, and they start getting jobs, they start getting opportunities, and the local population is still struggling. There's not going to be some movement to rally around to defend these American expats. If you tell me that, you're not being honest. You're just not. So it seems like the rules are just different for us than everyone else, when again, we don't even have anything to offer the world. We just got white jobs. So this makes no sense. It's difficult for us to buy into something we've just not seen, but it looks like the opportunity's there. Why is it not being seized? So if you want us to really buy in, and it sounds wonderful, it does, then let's see it work where it makes sense, where there's opportunity for it to work. Let's come together collectively there, back home, and challenge white dominance. So then it doesn't look like you're just eating off my plate and I'm being asked to sacrifice when you're not being asked to sacrifice. It looks like this is a legitimate movement to challenge white dominance, and I guarantee you we would want to be a part of that.
I fell down this rabbit hole of the FBA versus Black diaspora. See African Americans boycotting the African continent and promoting nativism, and people in the diaspora refusing to acknowledge their difference from legacy African Americans. Truly some chronically online content. But I think that it does represent some holes in the Pan-African movement that I wanted to address, particularly this idea that we ought to be colorblind in and outside of the African continent, that we should give up many important classifications in favor of just being African in the name of defeating our common oppressor. My problem is, though, that this oppressor is hardly common. Sometimes it's just...
I want to say this about her. She makes a great point, but at the end of the day, her people were already doing it. Your people already had a colorism problem. Your people already were going through, not identifying as black. This was the whole reason why we were saying, yo, we got to delineate. That was the whole reason of delineating. It wasn't because, oh yeah, we don't like you and stuff like that. No, we did. We started pushing back towards y'all because at the end of the day, it didn't benefit us. It only benefit you. We're tired of helping everybody else, but when it comes to us, nobody's not here. Can we do it by ourselves? Absolutely, we can do it by ourselves. But at the end of the day, we're not gonna save y'all. And after we save y'all, y'all just gonna disrespect us. It just doesn't make sense, you know.
white supremacy in a broad sense. Other times, this is the mammoth of chattel slavery. Sometimes it's the similar catastrophe of colonization, and sometimes it's just recovering from occupation. But some of Africa's conflicts also suffer from interregional ethnic and tribal warfare. Some are concerned with religious persecution and terrorism. I'm by no means a nationalist, especially because many of these nations were drawn along colonial lines with no popular consent or regards for an actual cohesive national identity. But there's merit in acknowledging the unique priorities of different nations over a unified African monolith, which is just so diverse as to represent wildly different histories, material realities, religious affiliations.
Salute JD. Yeah, I watch Ron FBA. He be doing his thing definitely. We'll be opening up the truth to you. Oh yeah, definitely. I don't mind watching any of y'all channels. Definitely. Because when I'm at work, I don't do nothing. So definitely, I'll watch your channels. Just yeah, definitely email me, send me the channel. Definitely, I'll watch it.
And to span across multiple continents. Even in the US, the Black diaspora experiences a different socioeconomic reality compared to FBAs or legacy African Americans, where we experience a higher income and greater educational attainment despite modern racial prejudices, mainly due to things like positive selection in the and tension. But there are a lot of Black diaspora who don't want to acknowledge the FBA community, appropriating specific aspects of their culture in a terrifically awkward way, as certain FBAs attempt to stake claim to Africa in a manner that causes cultural clash, akin to the Liberian Back to Africa disaster following the abolition of slavery. But of course, many Africans have a unique tie to FBAs because of their shared ancestry, and results in a cultural, ideological, and political symbiosis that I think is overwhelmingly beneficial, such as in the case of the African Union and its partnership with the US and the EU. I just think that nuance is important because we mustn't forget that racial categories are a product of shared subjugation, and the
Give me a second, everybody.
people retreat into themselves because they feel they must surrender their identity to the base who have now taken on a nativist approach to American politics, which, while not white supremacist itself, certainly curries favor with the white supremacist movement.
Yeah, it works now, everybody. I just had to reset my Wi-Fi. Am I frozen? It looked like I'm frozen, everybody.
Because African American people, like actual Native Americans, have never been considered among the native stock and intended equal citizens of this country. Nativism is the politics of the know-nothings, and more infamously, the Ku Klux Klan, and it will never stray far from its racist origins. So, all in all, I think it's important to have a name and a distinction for FBAs. I don't think FBAs should estrange themselves from Pan-Africanism. I think the strength in numbers is mutually beneficial, and I think we have plenty of differences, but also, of course, similarities based on the fact that, you know, race is also skin.
I'm gonna say she's right, but at the end of the day, we already tried that, and when we did try to do unity, she turned on us. I mean, her people turned, not her, but her people turned on us. So first thing she needs to do is go talk to her people. I think that's the perfect thing to do, is go talk to your people about unity. You know, I don't, and this is just me, and I'm not trying to kick her back in because she seems like she's a nice woman, but I don't think she understands, as we always say, the ecosystem. The ecosystem has always been Black Americans help everybody because you know what? It's like we were always the safe zone. But what a lot of your people have done is destroy, infiltrated, shit it on a safe zone. And the reason why I said the safe zone, because you could come to Black Americans and the Black Americans will stay on code and defend you. But what you have done is you said a lot of foul stuff about Black Americans. And I think this is where the situation gets sticky or it gets difficult, you know?
Deep, and our surface perception is equivalent in terms of things like profiling and discrimination. Also, this should go without saying, the African Union is not trying to take reparations from FBAs who face chattel slavery. They are advocating on behalf of all Africans who face slavery and colonialism to receive some form of compensation for the atrocities committed by a number of Western powers.
That's what it is.
Go.
They comparing their bottom 10%. They comparing their top 10% to our bottom 10%. If we compare 10% top 10 to top 10, we would dust them in the water. And I'm not saying like this on some, but you know, Kobe knew who can guard Kobe. It was nobody.
Nobody.
Only Kobe can guard Kobe.
Nobody.
And I think it's a little. I think it's a little jealousy too from the others too.
But see, that's
because they feel like we got main character syndrome. But
we do.
We all them niggas.
We do.
We them niggas.
We do. We do.
I don't know.
We do. Take the flag back, black man. It's yours. You got it. You got it.
I fuck with this dude. He be on Shorty's show from Texas. What is it? The ladies of Sosa or something like that. The Sudanese women. And I fuck, if you notice, I fuck with them heavy. And it's because they're a different perspective coming from a person who's looking out. I mean, who's out looking in. I apologize. A person who's out looking in. So I think what they do is super dope, and I'll never shit on somebody's platform who's actually trying to do something and actually trying to figure out what's going on. And shout out to those two ladies too. I forgot their names, but I did a short on them. The two African girls, they're dope. And he be on the show sometimes when they talk about foundational Black Americans and Africans situation. I think this is a great show for it, you know. Because he's a great representative of Black Americans, this guy right here. So he doesn't use our talking points, but he just used a different type of knowledge. So shout out to Big Homie. And I'm probably older than him, but he looks.
That's why I love how my queen really just rattled them all. I love that. She's cosplaying America. She can't cosplay shit that's hers. I personally, by my queen, I mean Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter. Yes, first of her name. I personally love that. I love that. No, I agree with you 110%. And then just keep it like on the whole diaspora tip. That's why any time if we would like, if this conversation was to happen, and if we're around people, you know, from the diaspora, the moment they start that, which I consider to be like that ignorant talk of what Black Americans can and cannot do, I'm the first one to stand up and set that shit straight, because it was on the backs of my people the reason why you're able to come over here, blend in, and act the way you act. Let's get down to it, because not until about really 2020 did you see a lot of Black Americans doing that great migration and going back to the continent.
Yeah, she's right about that. I'm gonna say this also too. A lot of Black Americans are moving back down south. They're moving back down south because that's where their people are. And that's where they feel comfortable at. And I'm gonna say this: there's a lot of immigrants moving down south too, but at the end of the day, they're not cutting it because they can't adapt to the culture. Some have adapted or cosplayed the culture, such as Savage 22. This I just remember Savage 22 because he's from Britain, but he's like some type of Trinidad. I think he's Trinidadian, I believe. And shout out to him, but at the end of the day, I feel like he really can't talk for Black American because culturally he's not Black American, you know. And it's no disrespect, it's just if you're not really from the grain, you probably lived in the grain, but you still had an immigrant background because the way how you think. I mean, an immigrant experience because your IQ, not even your IQ. I hate using IQ. It's just the way you look at America, you know? It's just like a person who lives whose family's from another country, they're not going to get the full black American experience because they're going to have their mother in their ear tell their mother and father in their ear telling them something different. It has always been like that, you know? And and salute to your parents, man. But at the end of the day, your parents can't be pushing white supremacy ideology to you because at the end of the day, a nigga will pack you out. You know, sometimes I always tell people sometimes the law enforcement can't reach you, so you're gonna have to do one or two things. You might have to plead and apologize, or you might have to fight. You know. And shout out to people who's banging out, but you know, it's this delineation. It was it needed to happen.
Mhm.
So let's just call a spade, baby. And notice I said Black Americans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, and Pan Africanism has been one sided for years. Now, I will give, let's say, second generation Africans their just due by trying to, mend relationships. But
yeah, they do what they can.
yeah, and they really are
most of the time it's also them who like to talk crazy outside their neck.
Oh, because they was bred and learned it from home.
Yeah.
And I really don't care.
No, I don't care.
I treat it like
but you better keep that shit over there. If you ain't ready,
yeah.
you better keep that shit that way.
But then I also don't like the notion too, like, and it's just a cultural difference. They don't understand, like, the whole going. They call it bullying. I just hate the label of roasting somebody like bullying because that's just not our culture like that.
Yeah, because I say,
and I can get it. I can probably feel
like
you being attacked.
I can see how I feel like you're getting attacked, you're getting piled up on.
Yeah,
I will never take that feeling away from you. Absolutely, right. Like
but please listen. Like when I say, is no malice coming from it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And something I always stand true to is I say all the time, Black people, at our core, we're just not that type of people. At our core, we're not violent. Violence was taught, babes.
The one you own or scoring on the most, that's really the person you love the most.
Because nobody admits anything. If we were smart, we would go to Africa and build it up. I am in Canada, and I'm surrounded by Africans. I ain't never been treated so bad in my life. Why the fuck would I go to an entire continent full of Africans? I would never do. But the one thing that you should be asking yourself is why a continent so rich in resources is not already built up. So you will take your resources to Africa, a nation that's rich with natural resources, that's not built up, and build it up? What? I know how I've been treated by Africans since I've been in Canada. There's no way I'd go to a whole continent full of Africans. I would never do that. There was a whole movement where Ghana says, come back to Africa. We apologize for what we did. Come on back. That's not what they meant. What they meant was bring your resources. Well, there were Black women that fell for the banana in the tailpipe.
That's the thing. She told the truth. That's another thing right there. That's why they're trying to infiltrate the Black diaspora is because of resources and money. She's right. We can't get mad about what she's saying. She's right about what she's saying.
Their families had to go get those bodies, and their resources were gone. So you go, and you build it up. Africa has never even made my long list, and it's definitely not on my list now.
There is no cohesive African identity, and there never will be, because Africa is too culturally and religiously diverse for us to go ahead and try and amalgamate over 2,500 different ethnic groups, over thousands of different ethnic religions, Christianity, Islam, and combine all of them into some coherent African identity. I think that is a myth and does not make any logical sense. When we discuss Pan-Africanism, it's not us seeking to unite all Africans under a single cultural hegemon of the African identity or the Black race or any of those nations. No. As I said in previous videos, it is a pragmatic, political, and economic unity, a program that says African people must come together and unite in a revolution if we ever want to see any semblance of development. Because as we are divided, as it is in our own ethno nations, whatever nations we have today, we are very weak and susceptible to imperialism. Imperialism will defeat any African nation, especially if the revolution.
And that's why we're not helping you, Shabaka. I'm gonna say that what you wrote on that screen right there. That's why we're not helping you. We will never help you. So good luck or good riddance, my nigga.
Is isolated, but through Pan-Africanism, through a revolution spreading across the African continent, and us as a people coming together to lead this revolution forward, we'll be able to oppose imperialism and hopefully overcome capitalism. So when we discuss Pan-Africanism, it is not about creating some African identity or establishing a single Pan-African language or any sort of cultural program. It is primarily a political and economic program seeking to unite Africans against imperialism and capitalism.
This ain't about beef, it's about truth. I salute the real Africans who know we was already here. Pan-Africans obsessed with boats and whips. Y'all honor the chains more than the kingdoms. The real disrespect. So let me get this straight. You gonna land in Africa yelling at, take me to Jabari's house. Bruh, they gonna ROB you. You don't know him. My great
Niggas say, take me to Jabari's house, nigga.
Yo. Disrespect. So let me get this straight. You gonna land in Africa yelling at, take me to Jabari's house. Bruh, they gonna ROB you. You don't know him. My great granny ain't tell no damn slave story. She said she was Creek. Who the hell is you to override her?
Welcome to the Pan-African Land Grab Expo, where you steal identity and reparations in one trip. That's the Boule handshake, baby.
So this how y'all moving?
The question now is, I think we're gonna make this a three-part question. Are the Pan-Africans the new Boulets? Yeah. Are the Pan-Africans the new Boulets? I think that's gonna be a question tomorrow. I mean Friday.
Signing off our land just to play dress up for some fake Pan-African clap. So let me get this straight. Y'all trying to form a United States of Africa on top of our bones? You can't build no kingdom on stolen bloodline. Y'all about to give up your whole reparation bag and all that inheritance money just cause you want to be African. We ain't pretensions. Y'all bought our names for $5 in a damn lie. You the fraud, we the bloodline. Granny got land deeds from 1702. We don't start at slavery. We bigger than your broken history.
Stop trying to guilt trip me into being African. That's not my bloodline.
Y'all trust DNA from the same folks who cloned sheep. Your ancestors ain't in no database, fool.
Y'all act like we popped out the womb in shackles. Nah, we was landowners. Royalty, fool. Get it right.
Unlearn that label. Break that spell. Ain't no power in a lie. Speak your real name.
They keep telling us go back to Africa. How we gonna go back somewhere we never been, fool?
Look at the bigger picture. The theft ain't over. They setting on the table with your name on the menu. Your silence is a signature. Your ignorance is consent. Wake up!
Respect to the real African that understand. This is about honoring our land and preserving our heritage for future generations.
Ooh. Shabaka's crashing out right now, everybody.
Yo, I got a question for Pan-Africans. Why do you guys like totally disregard the original people of America? Nah, for real, because I don't know who's worse, the Europeans, the Mexicans, or the Pan-Africans. Okay, so cool. All out of Africa. I got it. Cool. So someone explain to me the black people here before Christopher Columbus. Yeah, all they're gonna just say is that long ago, before Christopher Columbus, Africans traveled throughout the world, landed in the America. And also, they're trying to say that the Olmecs were a civilization out of Africa. I'm here to tell you that the Olmecs is one of the first ever civilizations in the land of America, not just the United States. I'm talking about North America, South America, the entire Americas. The entire Americas was a big flourishing land before Africa was even an island raising up out the sea. Now again, someone tell me if the Olmecs were the first civilization and the Americas was the first land to raise out the sea, and Africa was just a little itty bitty island, how did we all come from Africa? Now, I love Africa. I love everything about Africa. I love the African people. I think they're amazing. I do notice some differences in our melanin construct, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole. I just want to know how everybody came from Africa. And don't get me wrong, I would not mind coming from Africa. I wouldn't mind coming from anywhere in this world, just as long as I'm not white. But my lineage trace back to the Indians in America, always have and always will be. No, I didn't make this up. My grandma passed it down, her grandma passed it down, and her grandma passed it down. If I did have any African lineage, then I would still be connected to some of my family members. The furthest my family go back is to down south. My family owned land down south.
Cons of Pan-Africanism is they all want us to go back to Africa. Why go back to Africa? We need to fix what's over here. Right. We need to fix what's going on over here. Go and even saying go back to Africa, like we.
That's what I've been telling people. I was like, yo, why are you telling us to go back? Go back where in Africa? You can't go back to Nigeria. You see what happened to Ice Show Speed in Nigeria. They was trying to scam him. Can't go back to Senegal. They were scamming Tariq Nasheed in Senegal. So like, where to go?
We're from Africa.
Everybody not from there.
Everybody not from Africa.
Right. I mean, it's even been historically shown that them boats wasn't gonna be able to make it.
Let me tell you something. When I first walked away from all of this, and I went into studying like the Comedicism and all these episodes, like I told you, like I tried. I don't know for the life of me why I thought that, because I am a person that actually had the luxury of meeting my great grandparents. Right? I actually met both of my great grandparents, my great grandmother and my great grandfather. As a matter of fact, I used to go to her house every weekend, and I knew this woman was full-blooded Indian. So why did I fall for this whole we are African thing? I guess it was just I don't know. I guess I just wasn't thinking.
Has anybody else been noticing how one-sided Pan-Africanism has been as far as Black Americans has been concerned? It's as if they just expect us to continue just giving and giving and giving and giving with nothing in return. What has Pan-Africanism done for Black Americans here in America and even abroad? It seems as if they are playing on our naiveness and just expecting to drain us of every resource we give them, or that we even have as well. And then on top of that, because of us, now they're allowed to move here into the United States. That's one thing in and of itself, right? But the thing on top of that is they're coming here and holding anti-Black American views, which is, something that I'm not cool with, and siding with people like Republican Party. I'm just going to keep it like that. Those type of people to just jump on us and dogpile us with all the negative stereotypes of Black people all together. They're saying, no, it's not us. It's not Black people. It's not Black people. But they're saying it's not us. It's actually the Black Americans. They are ghetto. They're stupid. They're gangbangers and this and that. And that's despite the fact that they're coming from countries that have things like terrorism and even worse gang problems and instability than even anything the United States has ever seen. Least of all Black communities. I had a live about 4 weeks ago, and I was asking why should Black Americans support Pan-Africanism, and one of those guys that I absolutely despise, those type of Africans that come over here and side with the white supremacists and say, oh no, we're the good Blacks, the bad Blacks are the Black Americans, they're the ghettos, they're the gangbangers, this, that, and third. And that's again despite the fact that they're coming from countries that are barely functioning. He was an Eritrean guy. Eritreans have the highest rate of S trafficking, one of the highest rates of S trafficking in the continent. and they're coming over here and talking about our problems as if their shit don't stink, and ours doesn't compared to that stuff that's going on over there. And this type of stuff is the reason why a lot of Black Americans are becoming pro delineation and are losing the idea that Pan-Africanism is the way forward. Me included, I'm disillusioned with it. If Pan-Africanism isn't working on the continent, why should we participate and be the biggest givers here in the United States and in Africa? Even when we have these groups dedicated to giving to Africa or to setting up things for Africa to function normally, the ones that are from the continent themselves seems as if they're not doing anything. They're not contributing at all. It's just us. I think that's enough as far as I'm concerned. I'm not against Africa getting better, but I'm just against it when it comes to our expense. And I think that's where I stand, and I think that's where a lot of Black Americans have come to stand as well. And another
I'll be right back, everyone.
example of this is how many African and Black countries have been preying on our downfall during the Olympics. And then when we're saying, nope, we're only celebrating our people, the Pan-Africans in our comment talking about, no, we must celebrate all Black people, all Africans, this, that, yeah, no, I'm all good with that. If you want to continue to get exploited, leave that, be an individual and be exploited by yourself. We're not supporting you in that shit no more. Good luck.
Alright guys, so that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Clearly a lot of people don't agree with Pan-Africanism. There's too many flaws, holes in it that just doesn't make sense. Particularly that on the continent they don't get along with each other, right? We know that Ghana's kicking out Nigerians. Actually, everybody's kicking out Nigerians. So that ain't gonna work. It's too one-sided, right? When it comes to, hey, giving citizenship to foundational Black Americans, that's not gonna work because they want your resources. If you don't have any resources, why would I take you in? Doesn't make any sense. It's not about coming home and rejoicing and connecting. Nope. We want your resources. That's all we want. You know, since you've been born here and you fell into that Pan-African trap, you know, come back, put your resources here, and maybe you can thrive and live here and start a business. Yeah. So Pan-African don't work. Pan-Africanism, I think it should be called scam Africanism. It don't work. And a lot of foundational Black Americans, or if you want to call yourself Black Americans, I call myself foundational Black American. A lot of people are waking up, right? A lot of people are saying like, why am I following this so-called false ideology when I know that my grandparents, my great-grandparents, and some people even had the privilege to meet their great-great-great-grandparents.
I'm gonna land here. I'm gonna say this. Everyone, give me a second. Let me close down and share. All right, I'm gonna say this, everyone. I had the privilege of meeting my great grandparents. Most of them. Only one I didn't meet was my great granddaddy from Augusta. I know a lot about him. I know that his family reached up to North Carolina. Um, I think he is from North Carolina, actually, if you ask me. Um, I'm gonna say this. I think Pan Africans. I said this was their desperate choice of turning the Black diaspora against Black Americans. It was so bad that the white supremacists tried to turn against us, but they knew that we were right to delineate us. I think, and I'm gonna be personally honest, I don't think the white supremacists would have never had an idea of deporting these people back if it wasn't for Black Americans. This is why I always tell people all the time, Black Americans make great leaders because at the end of the day, we do things we do things selflessly, lessly. Um, and the reason why, because it's best for business. It's best to, if I'm not gonna make it, at least like 4 or 5 other people can make it, and I'll make it the next time, or they can help me out through this time. This is how we usually think back in the days, but this era now is more jealousy and envious, and it's not really from us, because at the end of the day, all we ask, yo, how you get that? Hey, yo, can you show me how you got that money, or how much you got? They be like, yeah, 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 I show you, woo, 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 woo. Yeah, cool, boom. That's how we make money. This is how, and this is the thing about it. This is how our communities back in the days progressed. What fucked it up was when we got attacked and stuff, they burned down shit. They burned down our shit. We were fighting. The Pan Africans were the ones that tell us to stop fighting and worried about Pan Africanism, to worry about our motherland. Knowing damn well that's not our motherland. If we're from that land, they sold us to come over here. So why the fuck would you want to go back to the same devils? And I'm gonna call them devils that sold your people in the first place. They sold your peoples. And if they can say, oh yeah, we did it for the evil good and all of this, the necessary evil, or whatever, how they want to say it, no. We're not gonna say that. We're gonna say, yo, you know what? This is the worst thing that we ever seen. This wasn't right. This was beyond fucking stupid. So it is what it is. I'm gonna also say that, yo, there were they're our enemy. Pan Africans are our enemy. Pan Africans has never been our friends. They never have been our comrades. They always done hurt. They always done harm to the community. When we're talking about upbringing our community, they're talking about going to fucking Africa. We're talking about surviving. They're talking about growing shit in Africa. Everything is about Africa. We was always the sacrificial lamb when it came to them. So at the end of the day, we got to get out this Pan-African bandwagon and call it quits. Call it quits. You're not the gatekeeper. Nobody wants to listen to you. Nobody's following you. Not even not even the people that you call your people are following you. There's a reason why that is happening. There's a reason why that's happening. Now it's time for the Pan-Africans to figure that shit out. It's not our job to figure it out. But I do want to give my thanks. Give me a second, everybody. I'm going to give my thanks to y'all. I want to give my thanks to Ray Ray, Shabaka, FBA Convo, OC, JD Lee, 24, Rando, salute, Ping Fu, SP, Intuitionally Wise, salute, Black Snow Bunny King, 1526 FBA, Louis Nice, Fred is back. Chuk Wu. Is that Pink Fu? I think that's Pink Fu. Renaissance Woman, 100 Gullery, and also coming from Kick, Rando. Salute Rando. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, Charlie Shaw as well. Sorry, Charlie Shaw. I had to switch over. I hit the wrong button and I apologize, but shout out to you. Thank y'all, and thank you, Dorsey, too. I didn't forget about you, Dorsey. Thank you, Dorsey, and I appreciate everybody who was on this show, who participated, or who was in the live chat. And we're almost hitting the 500 mark, so we will be we will be monetized. So thank y'all for all y'all hard work, who subscribed, who shared, who did all of that for me. I appreciate everything. But we're about to be on to the big leagues, which I'm about to be on to the big leagues with y'all. So, thank y'all and I appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care.